Good evening, everyone, and this is your weekend warrior. This is Black Men Being Brutally Honest, and long live the habitual line steppers. We are the cool table, and in order to come to that cool table, hit the subscribe button and hit that like button and hit that notification bell. To my existing subscribers and newer subscribers, I would like to say thank you for your support in helping this channel grow. And all of that stuff is awesome. So, letting you know to read the bottom of the screen for edutainment purposes only, meaning that you take what you can from each one of these broadcasts and you learn from it while being somewhat entertained, hopefully. um, anyway, well, a lot has happened this week. First off, last week, the awful Wallace situation. He, of course, about 4 or 5 days ago, was apprehended in DeKalb County, Georgia. It's it's one of those situations that teaches you to examine all aspects of how you feel. I mean, not wait a minute, all aspects of the situation itself, instead of just going with the first emotion that you feel. And that was some BS, but this is not what this broadcast is about. Of course, the buzz is now is two things. First off, Sha'Carri Richardson not being able to compete in Tokyo because she was popped on a urine test or drug test, whatever. She tested positive for marijuana, and that is a discussion within itself. Um, Another thing that has happened is that Will Smith is once again being somewhat humiliated because what was it? It's like Jada Pinkett Smith is reported that she said that she had to stop Tupac from beating up Will. And I have different thoughts about that kind of situation. Everybody thinks that Tupac would just wipe the floor with Will, but hey, I don't know. Just that's a discussion within itself. I mean, since so much, and now we got Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby was suddenly set free. He has served three of his 10-year prison sentence. He's found guilty of the drugging and sexual assault of Andrea Constant. Um, and it and let me say it's just been a mixed reaction, very mixed reaction, very confusing reaction, very polarizing reaction, something that you could compare to the O.J. Simpson trial, you would say. I mean, although different, the polarizations are similar. I'm on the side of I just don't see how you can convict someone with no evidence. I don't see how it happens. It's confusing, and there's a history of this kind of shit that goes on anyway. Because his accusers are white. Andrea Constant is white. And I'm not saying that a black man can't be guilty of something like that. I'm not saying. What I'm saying is there is a constant history of lies told on black men when it comes to sexual deviance. It doesn't matter what it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what I believe. Facts are facts. It's been a history of these kind of things. It's gotten black men killed, incarcerated unjustly. You ever heard of the Scottsboro Boys? 2 prostitutes lied on them. The last one wasn't exonerated till he was very, very old. But look up Scottsboro Boys. That's very, very sad case. Emmett Till, very famous case. The mother demanded this funeral be an open casket. All because Carolyn Bryant lied. And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it's that serious or it's not that serious. All I'm saying is that something that some of us cannot ignore. We can't ignore that. We can't ignore that. So, as I explained in my video, I'll go ahead and explain it again. There were 2 reasons why Bill Cosby was set free. 2. Not one. The technicality, as they say. Not just that. 2. And I mean, like, if you want everybody to ignore that, just to incarcerate Bill for that, then you want someone's constitutional rights violated just because you're in your fields. The first reason, let's go ahead and go with the technicality first. First reason is that he had an agreement when he testified in a deposition. And people are trying to twist up the deposition as much as they can. And saying that he said this, he said that. But one thing he did say in that deposition, or he answered the question, he gave drugs? Yes, he gave drugs to women. But did he give it to them without their consent or any knowledge? And the answer was no. Everyone's argument is he gave it to them without their consent, without them knowing. That's everyone's argument. Now, it will be a damn good argument if it's true. So, if you're using a deposition, a technicality to say that a quote unquote rapist got off, then I think you're kind of seeing it how you want to see it. The second reason is the one that nobody's mentioning. The second reason is because during the criminal case, 5 other witnesses for the prosecution were allowed to come forward. In an out-front effort to stack the deck against Bill Cosby. Unduly prejudicial methods were being used, which means that he was being discriminated against. Why would they need 5 more witnesses if he's guilty of doing that to Andrea Constant? There's many reasons you can probably point out. I'll just say a couple. Number one, you want him to look as bad in the public eye as possible. 2, you didn't believe that Andrea Constant was enough to convict him. And let me go back to the first one because I didn't explain it. Sorry, my bad. Is that he made, I did say he made an agreement for testimony to not be used in the deposition. I mean, if he was not to be tried criminally for it. Yeah, that's it. He was not to be tried criminally for it. I mean, technicality, schmecticality, that's what it is. Did we let a guilty person get away? I mean, if he's guilty of giving drugs and having sex, then yeah. But all that other stuff, man. Let me answer it. I mean, and I'm a man with female relatives, and I'm a man with a daughter because everyone's saying this about. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Everyone's saying this to everybody. What if it was your daughter? Would you let your daughter hang around Bill Cosby or someone like him? The answer is no. Of course, because that guy does drugs. There's so much thing. There's so many things you can pick out of that. He does drugs. I don't want my daughter around drugs. Like, yeah. But, at the same time, my daughter's sick, so he's not aimed in that direction. And I mean, it's like we all have laws and we all have ethics and we all have morals. Well, most of us do at least. So, but even if she was of age, no, that guy does drugs. That's how you're supposed to answer that question. Sexually amoral? You don't know what's going on in anybody's bedroom. To be quite honest. I'm telling you. What's up, Billy Darkness TV? I see you down there. Yeah. So, they're doing all kinds of things in the media right now to them. So, I mean, I guess that's to satisfy the people who believe that Bill Cosby was guilty. I mean, they're throwing the victims in. They're gonna throw the victims in your face for 6, 7, 8 months, maybe the rest of his life is not going to be anywhere he can go where nobody's asking him any questions. He's going to have people go out for him. I mean, he's getting older anyway. Yeah, they even going for Felicia Rashad. What you going for her for? Because she supported the man. There's plenty of people who support Bill Cosby. But people want the people want you to see that you're supporting a rapist. You're supporting a monster. How do we do this? How do we keep throwing this man under the bus like this? How do we keep shitting on this man and not one piece of evidence presented? I'll tell you why. Tell you why. Is a few reasons, and some people may disagree, but I'll just say this, y'all. I really don't think y'all really care if he's a quote unquote monster. I don't think y'all care about Andrea Constant for real like that. I think it's just the fact that he was screwing around with white women. That's number one. Black. That's an unforgivable. That's an unforgivable act when a black man does it. And it's like, and if you go around saying you don't care if black men screw white women as long as he doesn't put down black women, that's a motherfucking lie. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am thinking about Camille Cosby and all of this. And that is a dedicated feminine woman right there that bore his children. She stood by. I'm sure these many little enclaves of the feminist movement and the bitter brigade don't like that at all. Because I mean they already done two or three things wrong. They can't ever possibly be someone like Camille on the level of Camille Cosby anyway, with that dedication and femininity. I mean, she was upset with him. It was trying. It had to be trying for her. I mean, her husband screwing all these women. I mean, shit, how would you feel? But at the same time, there is one thing that you have to remember that Hollywood people, they're special cases, they're outliers. They go by a completely different set of rules. Not saying that what is morally and ethically wrong is good and can't be looked at the way we look at it. It's just that I don't think that people understand that that's not the way they look at it. I mean, you had women coming forward from the 70s and the 80s. Why? I put it. I put it to everyone like this. I put it to everyone like this. Do you think any of those women could have passed the piss test that hung around Bill Cosby? They were virgins, pure as the driven snow. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Y'all trying to make these women look like that they were like they was on their way to being church nuns before they ran across this villain. They were Hollywood groupies, scorned girlfriends, women who thought they was going to get those Hollywood favors. They did the drugs. In the deposition, it says, no, I did not give it to them without their consent. Why aren't people taking that into consideration? Because they're white women. And that is unforgivable when black men do it. Number two, the pound cake speech. And many speeches like it. Black people, and I remember this when I was a young teenager. I remember my mother and my relatives of mine used to talk about this, about how they didn't like the fact that Bill Cosby was going around speaking, saying things in the earshot of whites. That was the complaint, which is really fucking ironic. My thing is always change the behavior. Why are you worried about someone saying something about it, especially if they're in your camp? Why are you worried about somebody saying something when, bullshit is reported in the news every day that makes us look like shit? Well, not me personally. The reason why I had just listened to the pound cake speech before I came on the air, and the reason why I wasn't offended because I didn't behave like that. Not saying that I'm better than other people, not saying that I'm just some Jesus figure compared to everyone else. It's just that I don't participate in fucked up behavior that impacts other people negatively. Why is it that we as a people, as black people, Western culture, think that kind of shit doesn't need to be examined? Of course we need to take some self-reflection if we want things to get better for our children. Why not? Even if you don't have children, if you want to live an existence that makes sense, you would care. What offended you about it? There's a part where he used the metaphor pound cake. That was metaphoric. At least that's how I saw it. Because if you popping somebody over something material, it's as fucking dumb as popping somebody for a piece of pound cake. It's a needless loss of life. All he said was, where were you when he was 2? Where were you when he was 12? Where were you when he was 18? What was so offensive about that? what was so offensive about that? Because the one thing I used to say is, when did you know that he wasn't going to be there when you got pregnant? Did you know it when your belly was in, when your baby was in your belly, or 3 months old, 6 months old, 2, 5? When did you make a monumental decision to finally decide that he wasn't going to be there so you could start raising your child? We're not saying people like Bill Cosby wasn't saying it to be smug. He was saying it because he cared. We're not allowed to care though. We're not allowed to say these things. For what? So we can look good for other groups. Other groups are progressing. They're moving forward. At least according to how the same people who say we shouldn't talk like that, according to how they talk, because those people do everything good. And we need to behave for them. Oh, no. Not behave. We need to not say anything. Don't act like you care. Don't act like you care about this place. Man, what you talking for, man? Why you telling the dude that he shouldn't wear saggy pants like that, showing his underwear? What you telling that girl that she shouldn't get pregnant at 16 for, or she should actually be a parent when it's time? Or, telling young men that they need to straighten the fuck up. Like, come on, man. He was on a platform that could reach out to thousands, maybe millions of people, and he did. But how did we take it? We took it offensively. If you were raising your kid right, you wouldn't take that shit offensively, or you shouldn't. Our way of doing things should not be a dog and pony show. It should be the real deal. And we should do it for us, not for anybody else. We should do it for the black. We should do it for the culture. We should do it for the culture. And then the argument is, well, why don't you point out the good things? We do. We do. We do point out the good things. Despite the fact Sha'Carri Richardson got popped for weed, she's a stellar athlete. A stellar athlete. So there. But the problem is when we say those kinds of things, y'all don't care about the good shit. Y'all don't care about the good shit that's out there. And I'm willing to bet any of you bet is like 3-1. There's 3 times as many good things out there as there are bad things that are being displayed. But we all pay attention to the bad shit. What's being said? Oh my God, why can't we just have this respect for ourselves? Why are we so mad at Bill Cosby for that? That's why that's black. I mean, that's what we're doing. The good things aren't killing us. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I just feel like this. The bad needs to be eradicated. I mean, we gotta want it for ourselves. It doesn't matter if the Asian community is watching, or the Swedish community is watching, or the Czech community is watching, or the Australian, or whoever. Whoever. Like those are groups whose minds are already made up. This is to de-stress us. If we start behaving as such, hey, we'll have the positive things. But no, we just let shit linger. And speaking of the dominant or so-called dominant culture, the pilgrims, as Rogish Billmonger says, we just believe everything that they say. We just believe everything they say because we're as far as us being conscious of our supposedly our shit being on display for them, we take heed to everything they say about us. We'll believe it before it not. We have to prove there has to be proof that they are wrong in order for us to believe that they are lying. Even though they're the biggest liars in history, we give them the benefit of the doubt before we give us the benefit of the doubt. And in this situation right here is definitely an example of that. It was 60 of them. You can find 60 people to say shit. So, I mean, in a world of money, in a world of actors where, goddamn, it's like if you look at the end credit scene of any television show, that's 60 people right there. This man been famous most of his life. And I mean, if he was screwing them like that, bang, 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 yeah, of course. He probably made some promises that he either couldn't or didn't keep. Hell hath no fury. Remember that. Now, I didn't put out the disclaimer when I came on this broadcast at first. So let me just say this now. I do sympathize with actual victims of sexual assault, sexual violence, rape, domestic, whatever. I do sympathize with them. I do. But just because I'm speaking of this case in the way I am speaking does not mean that I hate women or I condone any of the behavior that I just mentioned. I don't. It's just that you have to look at the fact that there's zero evidence in these cases, except for some supposed admission in a deposition. And that wasn't even an admission. Like y'all, some of you are acting like people who have lost your favorite video game, and you keep making all these damn excuses. You cheated, or it ain't got to be a video game. You're playing a physical sport. You lose, you get all these excuses. Well, man, damn, I was kind of woke up and felt something in my leg, you know. Oh man, that referee didn't see that man do that, or something. This is how y'all acting right now. And yeah, although, racist communities might be angry about this, I've seen it so much more on the front with us. This is what I don't get. We're within our culture. We're within Black culture. We see us doing it in droves. Yet still, those same people want us to look past us to look at them. I mean, damn, we're the ones. I think if anybody should talk about anything within our community, we should be the ones talking about it. We're the right people to talk about it. Y'all want to be mad at Bill? Guilty until proven guilty. He was gonna be guilty anyway. If he had gotten off in that case and not served a day of that sentence, y'all would still been mad at Bill. You'd still been calling him a rapist. Just like you're doing Nate Parker. When the R word is stuck on a black man, he can't get rid of it, no matter how innocent he's proven. Bill, granted, did not get proved. That's what they're saying. He did not get proven innocent. This is not why he's been released. He did not get released because he was proven innocent. He got released for the two reasons that I mentioned earlier. But to be brutally honest, who cares? If he victimized anyone, he got hell to look forward to. But there is no proof of that. So, all right. Got 18 in the house. Sir Anthony, Rael, Camp Low, Just G. What am I missing? Why is Ice Cube at the top corner of the screen? Oh, well, let me do this real quick. Because I saw that, but I was speaking, so I'll just take that down. But Cube is another black man who faced scrutiny. There, that's more personal. But I have a super chat. Raven Knight, happy 4th Kev, long live the habitual, Lion Steppers roar. Yeah, fireworks are expensive. I'm gonna go get like a small grocery store variety pack and just watch some colors. Yeah. Yeah, Adam Williams. All right, Viscount Lavelle. Bill was supposed to pay for this. Okay. But thank you for the super chat, both of you. Yeah, I mean, many do believe, and let's speak about it from their end. I'm not going with their point of view, but there are many who believe that Bill Cosby is guilty just because he gave women drugs. Okay, and yeah, let's talk about that. He gave women drugs, meaning that either they asked for it or he gave it to them and they took it and they knew what it was. You know, if somebody hands me something and say, "Hey, take this," and I'm like, "What is it?" And then he said, "It's this is a psychedelic drug. It does this and this." If I say okay, hey, that's on me at that point. I don't have to take anything. And common sense will tell you if it's without permission, then it's wrong. But it's not without permission. It wasn't. It wasn't without permission. It said it in the deposition. I got to show y'all that screenshot. I'll get to it in a little bit. But just the fact that he gave him, just the fact that he gave it to him, and he said, and then people's like, well, did he give it to him to have sex? And I think he did admit to that. He did give women drugs to have sex. Yeah. But they were like, okay, the framing people are using is like he gave them the drugs and then like he took out his pocket watch and just started swinging it and hypnotized them. Oh, now you're gonna do this and have sex and just take the put it pop, go down there, girl, yeah. That's what everybody wants you to believe. But that was 70s, 80s Hollywood drug culture. Sex was going to happen anyway. He already was having sex with a woman. So, yeah, technically, yes. So he was supposed to answer that question like that. Now, I know in 2021, social media, people are going to for speaking like this, people are going to call me an apologist. And then I can say something like, well, you know what? You can go F yourself. I can say that. Or I can just explain why I believe or why I think what I think or what makes sense in this situation. Is that if you're taking the drugs, if you're asking for the drugs, it's on you. You are a consenting adult. Social media 2021, court of public opinion law, the verdict is already guilty. So what you're saying is none of those women were adults in their heads. They could not have made this decision on their own. Bullshit. He gave them those drugs. Yeah, because they wanted them. Why would he have sex with a man? Yeah, okay, let me ask you in the chat. Watch it. If a man and a woman had sex, they're both drunk, they're both high. Is he assaulting her? It's consensual sex. Is he assaulting her? Is it right for her to go back and change her mind a couple weeks later and decide it's something else? when at the time it was consensual, both were into it, both were loving it. Now, for the ladies out there that might believe, yeah, let me flip it. Would it make sense if the guy would go back a couple weeks later and say that he was assaulted, he didn't know what was going on? He would have the right to do that, but would it make sense? The answer for me is no, neither one of them would make sense. Because that just makes it look like you're just trying to spite the other person for whatever reason. And you can decide to do it then. People know when something is fucked up immediately. That was the whole premise of Me Too. RPM. What's going on? Look at some of these comments. By the way, when I'm speaking, I have a really bad about looking at comments. Rael, Cosby and Nipsey both taken down, one physically, one culturally, by black people, which effectively ends Pookie and educated lame debate. Both gave back and still wasn't good enough for these shines. No, and Bill Cosby is probably the biggest out of everyone who has given back. Literally. Okay, that's about something else. My fault on the spelling. Big thumb. Hashtag long live the habitual line steppers. Well, no big deal. Whatever. Well, let me. Cortez Smith, what's going on? He admitted to giving them the drugs that they asked for. I mean, it's I don't see how you can blame some like. Here's my advice to men in like black men in general in the future. Don't give these women anything. If they're not your understood girlfriend, if they're not your wife, don't and don't give them anything. Don't give any. In fact, like common sense, you already know not to give anyone anything without their knowledge. Then I'm not talking to you. Then I think you need to be locked up or be in a straitjacket somewhere if you're giving people shit without their knowledge. But I mean, like, if you got weed, you smoke it all. You keep it to yourself. You go to clubs. Don't buy any drinks for anybody. I mean, use that smooth game. Use that gift of gab. don't give any woman anything, because this is the precedence that's being set. If you have bad intentions, let the law and the good Lord deal with you. I'm not talking to sickos like that. I'm talking to young men who might believe that a mutual exchange is okay, because there are women out there, especially, pilgrim like women, that would throw you under the bus if they decide that it's a bad idea later on. You want to keep your nose completely clean. And this is for your own good, because this is the kind of environment that you are in right now. You have to start thinking about your own safety. Because even if you are innocent, it takes the right person to say the wrong thing about you, and your life could be over just like that. And it's scary because taking all the advice I just gave might not even be any good anyway. Just distance yourself from fucked up people, So let's see. Viscount Lavelle. Drug culture was for real, and in the 60s and 70s, all his accusers were voluntary users of those drugs. Yeah. I'm thinking that is in an age where sometimes feminism can take root. Those women can look back and convince themselves that it was another way. It's like I don't know, man. It's just it's weird, but at the same time, it's typical. It's like Bill fell for every man's weakness. Not every man's weakness, many men's weakness. Pussy. It was available. There was access, and there was a lot of intoxicants, spirits, hallucinogens, everything being thrown out everywhere. Hell, every time you watch these movies that depict 60s and 70s and 80s culture, even Forrest Gump, it was always drugs involved. It was always drugs involved. Shit. I mean, it's like how many people, like how many of these movies with drug culture you've seen was depicted in that kind of party lifestyle, that Hollywood fast lifestyle? Just about all of them. So they're basing that upon a lot of stuff that really goes on. Hell, Cat Williams would tell you in Hollywood about those weird little, like, if you listen to any of Cat Williams stand up, he used to say stuff about those parties where they look in the room and some weird stuff was going on. All kinds of drugs. Drugs are a major market in this country. Just because Bill had access to them. While Hollywood gave Cardi B a movie for bragging about it. Spoiler warning: Cardi B was in Fast and Furious 9. and I mean, like, it was just like it just looked like one of those regular cheap guest appearance, type deals. But a lot of people have brought up Cardi B in this very argument. She's admitted to drugging and robbing people, but no one thinks of Cardi B as a person who drugged and robbed people. No one does. I mean, maybe except someone like me and the few people that have brought that up in the argument, but as a general thought process, no. No. Is Cardi B looked at as the person who drugged and robbed somebody? No. Mm-mm. So I understand why her name is being brought up, but it is what it is. She hasn't been tried in any court. She hasn't been found guilty of anything. She admitted it. She admitted it. But that kind of drugging was without knowledge and consent, which makes it even worse. But no one's going to look at that. So it just like it reinforces a lot of the points that are made here. RPM. This one chick, Sean Brown, said Cosby raped her and got her pregnant. The daughter, Autumn Jackson, tried extorting Cosby with what her mother told her and went to prison for it. Mm. I'm going to drop the link. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I appreciate insight. It's been 45 minutes. Sean Brown said Cosby raped her and got her pregnant. Don't you think that is right, that someone should go to prison for trying to extort someone? There's plenty of liars in this world. Let's see, let me pull some shit up. Saying just is this is just a this is a case. This is one very powerful case. This one very polarizing case, and um, let me see. Just bear with me one moment. I'm gonna try to set this screenshot up real fast. All right, let me check the likes actually. Okay. All right. 23 likes. I got 18 watching. Okay. Perfect Timing Podcast is down there. Black Warrior Spirit. Yeah, just bear with me one moment. 22. Let me see. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, this is a surprise. Village Arsonist TV. What's going on?
What's going on, big dog?
Oh, that man's real good to have you, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
Let's see. What would you like to say about the
Man,
topic?
free Bill Cosby, man. Free Bill Cosby. I'm glad the brother's free. And I just wanna give a special fuck you real quick to all the fake ass niggas out here now on the Cosby bandwagon, but y'all was shitting on the brother when he told the truth about the pound cake. I wanna give a fuck you to all you fake ass niggas. A lot of you fake ass niggas that were calling him coons for years, even though this brother's giving millions to black causes, Kev, right? This brother's
Yeah.
giving millions of dollars to black causes. I mean, he's been speaking with his money for years, man. But the brother had an opinion about black dysfunction, and you just can't tell this matriarchal community the truth.
Hmm. Not at all. Not at
Free Bill
all.
Cosby.
I I finally got this. Let me share this on the screen real quick. Well, I agree with that. I do. It's like everybody it's like this. As soon as the R word is brought up, we automatically throw our own under the bus.
Because
There it
niggas
is.
scared. Niggas are scared. You know that's why. Niggas scared.
Yeah. So this is a screenshot from the deposition on the screen. Um, Let me read it. That is below this annotation word. Said have sex with. Answer yes. I guess that's to give. Did he give women drugs to have sex with? He said answer yes. Did you ever give any of those young women the quaaludes without their knowledge? That's the question that you've been directed to answer. And it says A for answer right here. No.
Bottom line.
No. So drug use was at the women's discretion at that point. They chose to do that. They took the drugs. It was with consent. So I would ask, why would people not believe what they see with their eyes? But you already answered that question. That they niggas scared. They scared to go, like anything that you hear heavily pushed on TV. We will not go against it.
Right. Right.
Yeah, we I don't know. I think some of us are scared that it will affect us professionally, and one, I guess it will rattle people once they're looking at what's happening with Felicia Rashad. She's supposed to be the dean of Howard University.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Like, I didn't know that either. Let me see. Let me see if she's the actual dean. Let's see. I'm just looking it up real quick. I had a busy day. I meant to read up on some of this stuff. Mm, see, she's the dean of she's the dean of fine arts at Howard University,
Oh, okay, cool.
and they want her removed because they say she's supporting a rapist.
Uh-oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, right. The cancel culture, right? Canceling
And
folks.
you remember how you know how some of these niggas must be shaking in their boots because they remember how the white folks was mad after the OJ trial. They don't want to repeat of that.
No.
I had to
Yeah.
go to work and Mr. Smith was looking at me and he was looking at me with a smile on his face after that trial and I don't want to see Massa mad like that no more. I don't want to some of these niggas thinking like
Man, look at indigenous TV. Kev, do you think we're gonna get that Leonard Part 6 sequel now that Bill Cosby is free? Let me tell you something about Leonard Part 6. Y'all know Part 1 through 5 with the commercials. And no, I hope that never happens ever again. I mean, Bill Cosby, as much as he's done, he's had some duds like Leonard Part 6 and his role in Meteor Man, but he's still Bill Cosby. Okay, yeah, I know he was just saying that he was just kind of messing around.
what was he basically saying? He doesn't think Cosby will be able to work again or something? Because I personally think I think his career. I mean, he's an older guy anyway. I'm thinking he's retired, but even producing or directing, I'm pretty sure they're gonna try to blackball the dude.
Yeah,
And
hey,
here again, I wish we had our own black shit so that we could what do our own shit and fight against us. But that way we don't have to worry about getting blackballed. We got our own shit.
mm, but we don't get behind it. Like
Right. Right.
there's an app called Melanated People that is similar to Facebook. How many of us blacks have migrated over to Melanated People away from Facebook?
I didn't even know about it.
See, yeah, told you they don't get it. I mean, although these things do exist, they don't get enough of a push from us because we're afraid to go against the norm. There's FS Avenger. I mean, what if everybody black went over to FS Avenger? I mean, even though FS Avenger is run a certain way, I mean, could if we supported that, could we get as much momentum over there as we have over here on YouTube?
What does he do they and I don't mean to cut, but from because I've had a brief email exchange with Brother Carol about Free Speech Avenger. I'm still kind of confused. Is it like a group funded project or is it one guy and it's supported by him? Because I want to shout out the site, but I don't really know if they want it promoted like that because I know that sounds stupid, but it's like the type of content that's on there. I don't know if that would kind of get people's channels flagged, like if they start promoting free speech. You see what I'm saying? Based on what's on that channel, and then YouTube finds out, okay, what's on the channel, and then they start flagging videos that mention that website, and then now you can't. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Yeah. Because all this backroom bullshit.
Right, right.
Yeah. I mean, I just brought it up. I usually don't say anything about Free Speech Avenger. I mean, I do have an account over there, um, but like more of my time is over on YouTube. But what I'm saying is probably that if we do want to support a black platform and if it's all good, then we could probably go to Free Speech Avenger. But I'm gonna chill on that since you said what you said.
I mean, I'm
'Cause
just, I'm just, I'm just giving my reason for why I haven't gotten the clear okay from Brother Carroll or anybody that really knows what's going on with the website. As far as the administrative, whatever, or who owns it or whatever. I just want to
yeah,
know
but
how
it
they
is.
want it done. Do they want it to kind of be a background thing that only certain people know, and you kind of get it through word of mouth, or do you want it promoted?
I think they do want to. I mean, I think they do want to promote it. I mean,
Oh, okay.
but it is, from what I understand, it is crowd funded. They are supported by they are being supported by donations at this point. I mean, with
Okay.
that kind of content, how can you get corporate sponsorships?
Right,
Yeah,
right, right.
yeah. I
Shout
mean,
out to Free Speech Avenger, man. You guys, I mean, for the people hearing this run back, man, please go check that site out, man. And we've been already talking about it anyway. Man, I'm talking, that's some hard hitting shit on there, man. Shout out to Brian Solange and brother David Carroll and brothers like that. What's the other Abe Ibmore, I think his name is. You said you got a channel over there. I've been wanting to upload over there. I just haven't had the time. But
Mm.
salute to the brothers that put that site together, man. That's a beautiful thing over there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you gotta admire that you gotta admire that attempt.
Oh yeah.
Is a great attempt, and they so far so good. I mean, they've run into hiccups, trying to keep this shit straight and free from hackers because you know how deep the hate runs.
Oh, they've been getting they got hit before?
Yeah, they done got hit a couple times, but they've been able to come back from it each time,
Oh,
recover everything. But yeah, just shout out to the brothers that's trying it. And they said Indigenous TV Rumble is the next wave. A lot of people are going over there from YouTube, saying Rumble is a free speech version of YouTube. So
for
I'll
now.
oh until they start to get the
So they
sponsorship and
want that advertiser money. Shout out to OnlyFans. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all
is
ain't gonna
that
be popping your pussy on that too much longer.
is that an actual thing though? The OnlyFans thing?
Man, they want to go legit to get that Wall Street money, man. But in order to get advertiser, because what they really want to do is have celebrities come on there, and this is basically a way for celebrities to interact with their fans, vlog with it. It's a great idea, but they use the porn shit to get put on. It was a very smart idea, but now the little the little thoughts are mad because they're gonna have to, as Kevin said, Subway is hiring.
So is hiring. Now you brought up Kevin. That now is you can bring up Kevin as an example of this kind of treatment, but is now it's becoming too many examples. Whenever a black man tells an unsolicited truth, well, not I can't say it's unsolicited. When they tell a brutal truth, then the world's against them. Period. It's just
Oh, yeah.
so many people gunning for
From both
them.
sides. And what's saddest is that you get it hardest from your own. That's what's really sad.
It's a continued campaign of a continued campaign of shit.
Right.
And it's so and it's disappointing. It's disappointing because the way those people speak is like we're supposed to be black first, or we're supposed to be on each other's side, and then they'll turn around and do that shit. They'll do, and I've had older people always explain it to me that we are harder on ourselves than anyone else.
I mean, that's a good thing if you apply it the right way. You see what I'm saying? If we had some Tiger Bomb shit going on in our community, I can support that kind of being hard on ourselves. You see what I'm saying? We're preparing our boys and girls to compete in this world. But
Yeah,
hard on ourselves as far as sitting in front of a bunch of white people like Tommy talking about white people are superior to black people and kissing David Duke's ass and shit like that. I can't rock with that.
no, I can't rock with that either. I mean, you rocking with a guy whose organization has a history for lynching
Right.
our people, so that's bullshit. And I mean, and then people do that trash shit just to troll and just to be controversial, or as a part of the small part of them, they're showing you the reflection of the bigger picture, which is this whole we care what white folks think
I
ultimately.
mean, it's the internet age, guy. Come on, Kev. They gonna see what's going on now. I mean, we popping out phones every time some dumbass shit go on. So people are gonna see the shit. So let's just
Yeah,
address it. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Fuck it. Let's address it. Like for instance, and it's kind of you kind of have to. No, fuck it. Well, what Cynthia G having a white dude on her channel and him blasting black dudes. Now, what exactly what was said? We can't be high value because of X number of reasons, something like that. Was
Yeah, he was basically giving his typical white supremacist talking points, and first of all, this is my thing. I need to know this dude's qualifications. I'm very strict on that. Before I listen to what a white person has to say about black people, what the fuck have you done with your life? What college did you go to, sir? What certifications do? What qualify? And that's I still might care what you have to say, But I will be goddamned if you go pull some Billy Bob Thornton out of some trailer park that sounds kind of educated, and he's gonna sit there and tell me about my people. I'm not trying to hear
Man,
it.
hell no.
He's
Yeah,
credible because he's white. No.
that's exactly I think that's exactly what the fuck was going on in this situation. White folks saying something, black people want to sit up there and believe that shit.
I mean, I'm not saying a white person can't tell the truth. They can tell the truth, but there's a code. There's a code. You don't bring in outsiders to correct your own people. That's a vibe.
Mm,
That's a major. You know what I'm saying? This is a man
mm,
shit. You don't care. You don't do that.
not at all. Not at all. Because we know what the issue would be if, hey, say for instance, if I bought a Becky on this show, full on Becky, she blonde, blue
Ooh.
eyed, and she just started shitting on black women. Black women nappy hair. They gang. They wait. They got bad attitudes. They fat like all the other stuff. Man, let me tell you something. I I don't know. Controversy. I probably gained some subscribers, but you know how much people would hate me for that shit. People's all
Man.
man. The number of videos that will be made about it. People probably trying to call me gay also
I'm
because I
talking about,
did.
it'll be on World Star. They'll probably be on World Star. I mean, but you just don't do that though. I mean,
No,
that would be some coon ass shit. I
yeah,
mean, it
it's
would be.
yeah, foul. Yeah, that's foul. Like I understand. I understand why you would say that, and that's the truth. Yeah, you don't bring anybody, especially them, non-black or otherwise, to shit on your own people. And several YouTubers have done that. Not just her, not just Tommy. There's been a few of them. And they think that shit cool, and it's not. I mean, I feel like we should be done with you. Once that happens, we should be done with you. If you're sitting up here in these YouTube streets always frustrated, then you deserve to be because you're a sellout.
I mean, it's just clear to me what your intentions are. You're an entertainer. You want white appeasement. You want white acceptance. You want white money. You want to be a minstrel. I mean, it's Tommy is a. I used to fuck with Tommy, man, Tommy, but I began to see what his intentions were, man. And I'm like, wait a minute, you got David Duke, sir, but you calling black men all kinds of bitch ass niggas and all this other. Hang on, bro.
And what would Tommy's argument be on that? Is that
Man, you
he's
calling David Duke sir, but you can't respect it. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's not a conservative. That's a coon. And I'm
yeah.
tired of that shit being linked to black conservatism. I'm sick of that.
You do fancy yourself a conservative.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a real one, man. Like for instance, this Bill Cosby situation. I'm saying it right now. Every single motherfucker that calls themselves a conservative, but they don't support this man being released, you're a fucking fraud. You're fake. You don't support rule of law. Period. Point blank. Shut the fuck up. Shove your blue line flag up your ass and all this other rule of law rhetoric. You don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, when it matters, you don't care about the law. You don't care about the Constitution.
Hmm.
Want to lock somebody up just because the court of public opinion doesn't like the man, but we got documents, lack of evidence, all kinds of bullshit going on surrounding this case. Now, hang on a second. You had this one juror up there with Chauvin. He went to some protest or some shit. Oh, he deserves a new trial. Come on, man. Don't tell me it's not about race. Don't tell me it's not. Again, I'm not about blaming the white man for everything, but don't piss on me and tell me it's raining. You see what I'm saying? Don't tell me race is not an issue at all, man. That's bullshit.
Hmm. Yeah, with Derek Chauvin and with Amber Geiger.
Absolutely.
Wow, that situation was so shameful. And like from beginning to end. I mean, first of all, like just from like walking, talking about you got in the wrong apartment. You're a police officer whose profession is to have a keen eye. I mean, you're probably not a detective, but still, you're still supposed to be trained. But we know that's bullshit when it comes to a lot of them. She claimed she walked into. She thought it was her apartment. I don't know about you, but I know my place when I see it.
Period.
Everything about that situation stunk. And then when they're reading the verdict, old woman is putting her fingers through her hair. Was that really to frisk her down to search for weapons? Like she's gonna pull a knife out of her hair and attack somebody? Or was she being comforted? Because that looked like comfort right there.
Right.
And then the Judge Tammy Kemp, comes from the bench to give her a Bible and a hug. Now the brother, that was stupid. Like man, I told my brothers and sisters, I said, look, if somebody killed me, don't hug that motherfucker, please. I don't care. It's like it doesn't look it doesn't look good to me. It doesn't look good to me at all.
I'm gonna come back from the dead and slap the shit out of every one of you niggas.
Hell yeah.
Gotta hug the nigga that killed me.
Hell yeah. Shit. And then now she's currently filing for an appeal.
Man. And they gonna use that nigga ass slave behavior to get it. Why? The family agreed. The family forgave her. You see what I'm saying? Dr. Claude Anderson talks a lot about how black people engage in what he calls inappropriate behavior. You don't fucking hug somebody that killed a black man in cold blood. You don't do that. It's inappropriate.
Yeah, the whole display was just, and then got mad with her after the trial. Like, well, what they did, they gave Bron John some kind of medal of something, some medal of honor or some shit like that, because he forgave their fellow Blue Life officer.
Here's a medal for pissing on your brother's grave.
Yeah, and then they turned around and dismissed the civil suit to their faces.
Man.
After all of that, because hey, you know what? Yeah, because you know what? You forgave us already. Remember that. You're not mad. You don't care what happens to her. Now she's filing an appeal.
Chess and checkers, Kev. Chess and checkers.
Yeah, for what? Because this, and the reason why I went into depth with that is because of the fact that it seems like we're just looking for their approval, no matter what. Everything they say, everything they do, we want everything. I'm the kind of person that just wants everything to be cool. You stay in your lane, I stay in my lane. Motherfuckers want to be friends with these folks.
Niggas dream about white people loving them. A lot of niggas dream about white people loving them. That's a lot of niggas' greatest dream is to see white people smiling at them. A white person smiles at some of these niggas. They just say there's a Holy Ghost comes over these niggas, man. That's why you think I'm bullshit? That's my theory about why Joel Osteen is so successful. Bro, I'm telling you, I think a lot of Negroes, Joel Osteen, he's soft-spoken, he smiles at things. I think that's why he's so successful, man. That's just my theory. But like I said, as far as Bill Cosby, man, I appreciate you doing this stream about it, man. I appreciate the brother speaking on this. We need to make this louder, man, because black men, as you said before, this is a history, man. We are historically targeted like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's something that should never ever be forgotten. I guess that's why they're trying to get critical race theory thrown out, because they want you to forget. And it's up to us to keep ourselves educated on this, and to ask ourselves why you motherfuckers are reacting this way. So yeah, well said. Well said.
I think it's funny how a lot of so-called conservatives are just really scared to talk about it. It just seems like they're really scared to talk about it.
They talk about these black conservatives.
Yeah, it seems real scared. You know, some people are real scared to talk about it, man. They don't want to acknowledge, man. Nigga, Troy, you know when you out there with those proud boys, man, them white boys don't really like your black ass, boy.
No, not at all.
Come on, you know you got that cell phone on standby recording shit just in case these white boys get drunk and get real with your black ass.
Oh man, no, they don't like you for real, yo. I mean, you got to be real careful. You got to be in a position where you can get out of there really fast. If you're going to hang around them like that. I don't really hang around, those guys like that. No.
Now I have to salute guys like Trey when he tells us to also look out for the white liberal. I believe in, because those motherfuckers, that they're the ones putting out your little Nas X on BET and shit like that. They got their agenda too now, and you know that. So
Oh,
it's a lot of
yeah, yeah.
bullshit.
Those are ones they do these little sneak tweets against black men.
Yeah,
Yeah, like who's that guy? Dunn Elliott called Ice Cube a sellout, called him all kinds of shit. And
right,
this dude is a balding white guy that's frail
right.
in alphabet. But you got black folks on social media posting this man's quotes, which is
Inappropriate behavior, Kill. But I'm gonna go ahead and hop off, man. I gotta get some sleep, man. I appreciate you letting me hop on, man. Please hit the like button, man. Support the channel, man. I'm gonna throw your cash up tomorrow. I got a settlement coming in, so I'm gonna definitely hit you, man. I appreciate you letting me on, and I
word
really
village.
appreciate you, man. Speaking on the issues, man. Love your content, bro. Keep it rolling, man.
All right, Village Arsonist TV, and you make some good content as well that I'm informed and entertained by. I
Hey,
mean,
man, we'll see how long we last, man. I'm smelling a flagging soon. YouTube is fucking with me, man. So I don't know.
okay. I mean, shoot, like I said, we speak kind of strong, so people are going to react a certain way.
Yes, sir.
All right. So yeah, good, man. Good to see you come up, man.
All
Appreciate it.
right, man. Have a good one, man.
All right, you do the same. All right. So let's see. I got another pic I wanted to show y'all real quick. Yeah. So yeah, 24 watching, good. Like, how y'all doing tonight? Friday night. See, things are starting to return back to normal. I can kind of tell right now. The let me see. Come on, where are you? Where are you? Cause I got this screenshot earlier. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. But it's mm, yeah. So it just bear with me one moment. Just bear with me one moment. Yeah, but we were kind of having fun with this all week though. Everybody's so sensitive. Everybody don't want to believe in our kind. We don't want to believe that. Oh, there it is. I got it. I got the picture. Yeah. All right, so I should come to these broadcasts more prepared. All right. Oh, Cash App. Thank you, Absalom Pianki, for the Cash App. Appreciate it. He said for great content. Mm. That kind of notion humbles me. Yeah. They do. That the people that are watching believe that my content is great. Let me see. Yeah. Hmm. All right. Show y'all this real quick. And I mean, like, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Many of you may say that doesn't mean anything. He has women around him. They could be like working with him, or they could be like his writing staff, or they could be his image consultants or something like that. Or just by chance, while he was on the road, he could have had them in a luxury suite, snorting coke off his penis. They don't look like victims. I don't know if any of them are the women who have come forward, but this looked like that man back in his young days had women swooning all over him. I mean, when I guess when you're in that kind of that leading man kind of thing, that or you're just flat out popular or rich, that you're gonna have women coming at you like that. Period. I mean, like I said in the beginning, it doesn't make it right. He was married. He was married. It doesn't make cheating okay. It's just that these don't. To me, these look like these look. This probably was the usual for the kind of lifestyle and the kind of culture that he was used to. You can't like. Okay, things are different in 1965 as they would have been in 2015 or 2021. You can't apply a 2021 value to 1965. So I just want y'all to take a look at that for a second. Does that look like those women are in trouble? Did they look like they were being like forced against their will? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. Hmm. All right. Hmm. Anyway, I'm gonna drop my link and see if anybody wants to come up. Said Raven Knight. They all look like they're ready to be on black.com. Now, for those of you that know who black.com, know what black.com is, what have you been watching? They came at MLK. If he lived a long life, he would be in his 90s. Yeah, I mean, MLK was kind of like into them women too. I mean, he was kind of a leading man himself, but the principles that he supposedly stood on is what, excuse me, would have made all of that messed up. Now, do a lot of people care? No, they don't. Do a lot of people? Yeah, but in that instance, a lot of people care also. It says, look at Cortez Smith. Cortez Smith, look how scared those white women look, black women. Yeah, wow. I'm gonna drop my link again. Drop the link again, see if anybody wants to come up. If not, then I'll probably go ahead and wrap this up. Yeah. But even though I feel like the guilty should be punished, don't act like black men haven't been lied on before. Don't I would definitely appreciate that if we didn't do that. If we didn't sit up there and act like or pretend like somehow some kind of way that nobody lied. In fact, in this situation, somebody did lie. Shit, didn't it? I mean, like Janice Dickinson. Let me tell y'all something. When Bill Cosby, when they first started bringing this shit to Bill Cosby, didn't he have a black female attorney that was busting up the witnesses left and right? Oh shit! Absalom Peonki TV, what's going on?
What's up, Kev?
So
Great
what?
show, man. Great show once again.
Okay, I appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Yeah,
What do
been a
you,
while, man.
what do you have to say on the topic? What do you think about
My
Bill
question,
Cosby?
my question, I ain't gonna be long because what I mean, I gotta get off. But my question was, what do you think is gonna be the outcome now? Because a bunch of people are gonna probably want interviews. So
Mm.
my thing is, NBC, what she was trying to purchase. Everybody go, girl. Everybody gonna want to interview. What you think? How's that outcome gonna come about?
I mean, he probably will end up doing a couple of interviews, but I feel like that the purpose that the mainstream media would want to draw Bill in is to ambush him. To finish to make sure the man is completely finished off before he dies. I think that'll be the objective. I think that'll be the objective of the mainstream media. But did you know that he's also looking into his legal options to see if he can sue somebody for this shit?
I'm not surprised with the money that he has, the people he's probably more contacts he's probably made while being in jail. Because sometimes, that's just a thing that they say. I wouldn't know how true it is. But doing research, sometimes when you in there, they say all you got on your hand is time. So
yeah, he actually did. He actually did work in prison. He actually started some programs for the younger prisoners, like to get their lives back on track. And what these prisons should be doing for, I would say, the less violent offenders is to rehab them so they can go back out into society and do something with themselves besides being in a cycle that leads them right back locked up. Because I mean, that's what other countries do. They lock people up and then they rehab them and then they send them back out to be productive members of society. And we don't do that in America. We set our people. They set us up to fail, especially us. I will say this though. One thing Bill Cosby did say upon his release when he was questioned by reporters was this was not about race. This is about everybody who's been wrongfully locked up. Now, could you rock with him on that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially when you saying that he's been, beckoning for programs and stuff like that to help fund these guys. Then yeah, it's something else to it. But lastly, my question is, do you think how much of it will he be able to spill? Like say, if he was to do an interview, to basically put these people in an awkward position. Like, do you think that's a possibility that he can, in these day and age, a lot of stuff been happening. Do you think that's something that can happen where he can shed some light on some things and make some of these people really look like shit, like the evil people that they are?
I think he's tried that already. That's why he got that in that situation in the first place.
So you think they're gonna try to
OJ
him? They're gonna try to just destroy his character.
I mean, they're already working on it. They talking about the victims and the victims' reactions, and as far as I'm concerned, the context should be accusers because there's no evidence. But yeah, they already trying to destroy the man. But as far as him really shedding some light, I think that Bill Cosby is probably going to spend the rest of his life being brutally honest. I think he cannot be tried for this again, so he's going to be able to say whatever the fuck he wants to say.
Or some Judge Joe Brown type of stuff. Then.
Yeah, but you got to understand, Bill Cosby is an older fellow. The reason why I say that he's probably gonna clown a bit because when he was ambushed by old girl. When he came back into the courtroom, he did that little dip move, like he was looking around to see who was. That shit was funny. That shit was funny, man. So I think he still got his wits about him. And for someone who tried to actually make a difference while he was in prison, and from what I heard, he got mad respect. They treated him with all the respect in the world because of who he was, because of the impact he made. So they has to count for something.
Yeah, man, you got a good point. Thanks, Kev. I'm gonna hop off, man, and I'm gonna be in the background in the chat and stuff like that, man. Thanks once again, man. Keep doing your thing, bro.
Bro, thanks. I most certainly will. And hey, grow and keep going with your channel too, man.
I appreciate that, man. Shouts out to the habitual line steppers, man.
All right, yeah. Long live the habitual line steppers. All right, now that's Absalom Pianki TV. Yeah, good brother. Said Raymond Robinson, and that black man being brutally honest, they tried to get that man down, man. Then women knew what the fuck they were doing, man. Hey, yeah, LOL. Yeah. I mean, like I said, everyone's main argument was that he gave him drugs without permission. Now, would I feel differently? Would I feel differently if he had given women drugs without their permission, without their consent? If he was sneaking drugs, getting them real sedated, real real out of their wits, and then had sex with them. Yeah, I could pretty much say that's sexual assault. I could say that, but I don't think that's what Bill did. It just doesn't look like it. With whatever, with what was presented, no. What was presented, no. Let me see if I can bring up that screenshot of Janet Hubert. As you know, Janet Hubert, she has gotten some publicity. Janet Hubert is, she was the first Vivian Banks on the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Of course, there's this whole story about how she was put off of the show because of professional differences, and it was revealed that Will Smith said that he was just trying to protect his show. Yeah, where is it? And like I said, for many of you that I should have come to this broadcast more prepared. Yeah, but today was kind of a frantic day. Should I meant to go on at 10 o'clock and then end up going on after 11? Which, I mean, I'll go ahead and admit is not fair to the people that expected me at 10 o'clock. But shit happens. All right. Let's see. Just one moment. All right, there we go. I got it up. Okay. All right. So this has been catching some attention. Okay, Janet Hubert, as she put a comment down with a GIF of herself. She, like I said, that's her as Aunt Viv on the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Before she was replaced by Daphne Maxwell Reid. She states in this screenshot, Janet Hubert at OG Janet Hubert. Okay, I guess that means OG Aunt Viv. Even though everybody remembers Daphne Maxwell Reid. She was like, Felicia, what are you thinking? I don't know you, but to say this was terribly wrong. Everyone knew what he was doing back then. How could you not? Get your umbrella, sister. Here comes the shit shower. I am outraged that he has been released. Yes, he is an old ass guilty man. And she says below the picture, I would have said he's old, but he's out, and I'm happy for him, but he's still guilty. I know 5 women who have not come forward. Enough. Y'all, we know better. Powerful men do wrong things, black or white. I mean, I can agree with that last statement, but the application to Bill, this is probably what I'm having a little bit of problem with. Could Bill Cosby be guilty of things? Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, like I said, in the culture of Hollywood. But I don't know. This doesn't feel right coming from Janet Hubert. It doesn't. Original Aunt Viv. it doesn't. It's like, what do y'all think? Should she just like have kept her mouth shut? Kind of like, look, stay low, keep it. Like something like that. I mean, this was kind of a stir up thing. And now her position as dean of fine arts at Howard University is in danger over something that happened with no evidence. I mean, it'll be messed up, but I think Felicia Rashad will be okay. If she were to lose her position as dean of fine arts, because it's just like they too sensitive. It's like, come on now, come on. Are you really going to sit up there and listen to something and there's no evidence presented? None whatsoever. Everyone knew what he was doing back then. I mean, you're gonna have to hold everybody accountable then. I mean, I don't think if here's my thing. If Bill was really doing all those bad things, what kept everyone from taking him under back then? I mean, you're gonna sell me on everyone was afraid to say something. If all of y'all knew and see, really, she's telling on herself. Everyone knew what he was doing back then. Why didn't anyone say anything? I tell you why, because a lot of y'all were doing those things too. Whatever those things were. If you point out Bill, it's going to be a chain reaction of shit. Okay, what about when you were doing this? And what about when they was doing this? She said, get your umbrella, sister. Here comes the shit shower. I hate when people try to be clever. And then the execution is that's poor execution. Get your umbrella, sister. Here comes the shit shower. Okay. Why can't you get a nose plug too? Because it's surely gonna smell. Whatever. I am outraged that he's been released. And then she turns around and says she's happy for him, but he's still guilty. Okay, if he's guilty, how are you happy for him? Like, look at that down here. I would have said he's old, he's out, and I'm happy for him, but he's still ... guilty. I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be happy for him if he was guilty of that. That's common sense. No, if he's guilty, if I truly felt that the man was guilty, I wouldn't be happy about any of this. You got to be careful with these Hollywood types. But let me see. Raven Knight, and when the sugary-free pudding hits the shelves, they will wait for him. They stay stuck. Oh, you think that's it? Because the sugar-free pudding hit the shelves. That's why I ain't say nothing back then. That's why I ain't say nothing back in the day. Bill just needs to focus on making things right with his wife. Fuck them other old bitter daggles. Yeah, I mean, sure. I'm not really, I'm not really with Pecker jokes too much, but really, can he do anything at this point but get things right with Camille? You never know what's going on at home. Camille probably cussing him out every day. Shoot. I mean, there has to be a degree of anger with her. It has to be. But anyway, let me see. We'll drop this link one more time. If no one else comes up, I'm going to go ahead and end it because I have to, get ready for the 4th, marinate some meat and get ready to cook on Sunday. And really, and we speak about black and black culture. 4th of July ain't really for us. It ain't really for us for real. It's just an excuse to make things go bang. Like I said, fireworks are expensive. I went around to the fireworks place. It's like they got one little thing that shoots off for like I don't know, 30 seconds, and it costs $80. I'm like, that shit gonna stay right there. Somebody else gonna pick it up. I'm probably gonna end up going to get one of these old, I don't know, grocery store variety packs that have little small bangs, but still look kind of cool. Yeah, I go with that. I mean, I'll just tell my daughter, hey, well, we don't want to do it too big. 4th of July ain't for black people for real. I mean, y'all celebrate what y'all want to say. Celebrate. I ain't gonna be too much of a party pooper, but all right. I'm gonna give you about another 2 minutes, and then if nobody comes up here, I'm gonna go ahead and then I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Yeah. What y'all think? Bill Cosby being free? Yeah, Bill Cosby should be free. Bill Cosby should be free. He shouldn't have been locked up in the first place, and I very strongly stand by that. Very strongly stand by that. Let me go to my community tab real quick. See if I put that on the screen. Okay. No, I'm doing a lot of bear with me. Doing a lot of that. Bear with me, please. Bear with me. And oh God, no. Uh, well, let's see. Hmm. Here it is. Oh man. Oh.
Yo. Word to your mother.
What up? Like, yeah, I was about to shut it down, but it looks like we're still on.
I just landed, so I'm up and active.
Whoa, what up, Donnie? And Shaka Nulu. What's going on, man?
It's good.
All right. So, whichever one of y'all want to go, what do y'all think about the subject matter? And what is your reaction to Cosby being released? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Do you think it was a miscarriage of justice? Do you think that do you think like me he shouldn't have been locked up in the first place? What's going on?
I don't think he should have been locked up in the first place, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, violation of his rights. His rights were violated. Sixth Amendment. They railroaded that man. They did everything they could. They convicted him in the court of public opinion. They put all this disinformation out about him to where it couldn't help but tamper the jury. They fucked him over in every way possible. So no, he should not have been there. He should have been out sooner. And anybody who feels differently, fuck him.
Word. They gonna call him whatever they want to call him, kid. At the same time, at those times or whatever, giving out certain drugs to do. You know what I mean? Even at my age, being out here in Vegas, we used to go to parties all the time, and they would just give out certain things, right? But a lot of times it's guilty until proven innocent. That even when you become innocent, you're still guilty, just like your title says right there.
Now with us, they never let it go though. They never let it go. We're gonna be that regardless of how much evidence or non-evidence that proves our innocence. And it's a shame that's something that we have to go through.
I mean, look at OJ. OJ got popped, and these motherfuckers came back how many years later to fuck with him over a situation that, let's be honest, this nigga went to go reclaim his own shit. They threw him under the jail.
Hey, but he was out here the second time though, so there's a lot of shit going on. With that one, I ain't gonna speculate on that part right there. Cause like I said, he was out here when he did that shit. But at the same time, I'm saying, like, Bill Cosby been around for a long time, man. You know what I mean? I'm 46. I've been watching Bill Cosby for a long time. And I ain't gonna tread on man's water or nothing like that, but because you know what? I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. But all I know is there's parties and there's stuff going around. That's all I can tell you.
Well, you know what? I don't know what you said thus far because, I was in flight, so we just landed, and I'm not quite sure if you covered this. But let's break down what most people say, right? They say a few things that are lies. Bill Cosby admitted to raping these girls. It never took place, correct?
He never admitted to. He never admitted to that. He never admitted to anything actually.
Right,
In fact, the only thing he admitted to was giving drugs. He admitted to giving
correct.
drugs.
Right. But that was
The
that was that
state,
was then. That was then back then. But that was the parties back then. That's
Yeah,
how
right.
shit was done. We all know
yeah.
that.
So he handed out these women drugs. He bought drugs for these women. That's fine, right? That's normal. Motherfuckers, when I was younger, you used to come to my house and I would have a bottle of minks. Not because I drink that shit for the bitches. You came over, you was fucking already. This is what
Nigga,
rock star
jungle
lifestyle do.
juice? Jungle juice? What?
Right.
That's all I'm
So
saying.
if you came over, you was fucking off tops. But do you
Yeah, he
want
was
some
getting
of this?
some.
Right? So these women was fucking. This is Bill Cosby. He's one of the most powerful, influential men in America. This is America's dad. And he was a black man. You think these bitches weren't trying to fuck him? Of course. Had he handed them the drugs or not, they was gonna bust it wide open. He just happened to have
Right.
the most popular drug of choice back in the 70s and 80s, which is Quaaludes.
This is the keys, right. Give me another one. Should be back in a minute. You know what I mean?
Motherfuckers they used to get that shit in, and they still make that shit. So people don't understand that shit is out here. They call that shit Mandy's. Motherfuckers get fucked up on Mandy's and have a good ass time. They go to raves, they do all kind of shit. It's not a pill that you take and you just go unconscious. Shit don't work like that. But it's the disinformation spread just to fuck Bill Cosby.
Yo, the
Yeah, it's
way I
fun.
see it, the way I see it is basically the Me Too movement has tried to diss every black man, right? So him being found guilty or innocent or whatever is still a black man. So he's still gonna be guilty.
Yeah,
Guilty till proven guilty.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. He's
Yeah.
always gonna be guilty. As long as there's a female voice that screams and says he did this to me, he's always gonna be guilty. Then that's scary. Like that could happen to any of us. A female out of nowhere can say that we did something to them, and it could be as false as anything that is a lie, and people will believe that we're guilty, evidence
Of
or
course.
not.
Of
You know, you
course.
know, you know how many cats I seen in the Navy, man, when I was in the Navy, man, who got accused of anything, whether that's DV, you know what I'm saying, grape. I ain't gonna say the word on your string, grape or whatever. It was always believe women first before evidence was proven. You know what I mean? So I don't agree with none of that shit. To be honest with you, I really don't.
Hmm.
Hmm. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you think that the comparison that Bill Cosby and Cardi B has, do you think that's a fair comparison?
No.
Hell no. She admitted
Okay.
the shit, dog. Yo, you know what, Kev? I don't even pay attention to celebrity junk shit, but you know what I'm saying, being in space, I'ma hear it, right? This bitch admitted to doing certain type of things. Bill
Hmm.
Cosby said, yeah, I gave by some shit, you know what I'm saying? It was a party or whatever. That's not the same thing, dog. It's really not.
Hmm.
It's not the same thing. I
No, not
mean,
at
come
all.
on, man. Trannies, drugging motherfuckers, doing all types of shit, dog. It's not the same thing, man. It's really not.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit. And I hope he sues the fuck out of these motherfuckers and get his money. Get
Oh
that money,
yeah.
son. Get that money.
Oh yeah, he hit Beverly Johnson with one. Beverly Johnson went on mute. All of a sudden, bitch got quiet. Oh, what happened, Beverly? It got real. They started pulling out the information. I think Beverly Johnson's, I'm trying to think, it was her manager. Her manager came out and made the statement and said that she never met with Bill Cosby alone. She met with Bill Cosby once, and his wife Camille was there.
Wow.
And there was proof. That went away. All of a sudden, that went on quiet.
I mean, even his wife said that, yeah, he was some type of way back in the days, but never nothing like that. She couldn't even imagine that type of shit. I'm saying I give her that type of credit. But all this other shit, man, 20 years, dog. You know what I mean? One come out, they all come out. It's kind of like roaches, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Roaches come out.
And let me say this. This motherfucker, let's say he did do it, right? 60 women from 78 all the way up to 2018. This nigga was raping 60 women. And there's not a drop of evidence?
Right.
He had to be the coldest nigga ever to do it. So my wife is British. There's a dude who passed away. His name is Jimmy Seville. He was molesting motherfuckers left and right. When he passed away, the shit came out. And you know what the difference was? It wasn't just hearsay. They had actual fucking evidence. You know what I'm saying? They had legitimized proof.
This shit like Kobe
So you
pennies,
telling me
dog.
over the fact? Huh?
This shit like Kobe pennies right now.
It's out of control. All these years, decades of molesting women. And that nigga was so cool and smooth to get rid of all the evidence.
Right. How you do that one? Hey, square that circle.
Boy, I swear, some of these people on social media, they're trying to put some of these BWs, they're trying to put Sha'Carri Richardson in front of Bill Cosby. There's someone's cause that we should fight for. Now, I thought about actually making a broadcast on that for Sunday, waiting to Sunday to really discuss that extensively. But I can go ahead and ask the question right now. Do you think that is wrong? What's happening with Sha'Carri Richardson? Would you give her a pass and let her just run anyway, or it is what it is?
I don't know who that is, so I can't speculate.
Well, she's like this world. She's a Aurora Cares runner, sprinter, something like that. She's like one of the fastest.
The black chick that wears all the weaves and shit, the different colors and all that type of shit.
Yeah, her.
What are you asking about that one?
She got popped on a drug test
Mm-hmm.
For marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not allowed to participate in, I guess, the Tokyo Games.
Okay.
And it's become a big deal because, everybody's like, well, it's just weed. She should be allowed to run. And they've even started a couple of petitions for her.
Do they have a zero tolerance? First of all.
Yes. Okay. She's also an Olympian. And then you got to understand what Olympians is. You represent the United States of America. And as far as a whole, the United States of America has a marijuana regulation law that says the shit's illegal. Yeah, your state may be free.
I got you.
The country says no.
I got you because that was a whole thing with the whole Michael Phelps shit. That motherfucker got shut down, dog. He lost the
Michael Phelps
shit, right?
Michael Phelps got suspended for 3 months. Lost his sponsorships on a picture of him smoking weed.
Right.
It was a picture.
Right, a picture.
He wasn't actually popped.
Well, he was popped because a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Well, I mean, if you want to call a picture a pop, then okay in that sense. But an actual drug test. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, as far as then goes, a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? So if your drug tests show up, your P is worth 1,000,000 words. You know what I'm saying? If there's no tolerance, and then he got popped and shut down. I remember him getting shut down, dog.
No, I'm not saying that is wrong. I'm not saying that is wrong.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying, the whole thing is, it's called accountability, man. And a lot of motherfuckers don't like that word. So a lot of motherfuckers don't use the R word. When that comes around, oh, well, it's just a black woman, so You know, there's gotta be some type of racism in that type of shit. But there's no fucking racism in that type of shit if a nigga got shut down. He lost sponsorship, dog. So why shouldn't she?
I mean, it's probably not going to get handled the same way. I mean, it's already not being handled the same way. She only got suspended for 30 days. So she'll be able to compete again at the beginning of next month. So, I don't know if she's going to lose any sponsorships of any kind. Does she even have sponsorships?
I have no idea. I don't
she
follow
probably
celebrity
not.
shit. I really don't. It's a whole different world. But at the same time, I'm just looking at it as it's given to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a motherfucker lose sponsorship over the same shit, how was it racist? I think that we all like to use the word racist instead of prejudice, but at the same time, accountability is never considered when that shit comes along, right? If there's no tolerance, that motherfucker basically means there's no fucking tolerance, dog. There's no tolerance. You can't do shit. If it's in your piss, it's in your piss, and that piss is worth a photo. Straight up. You're dead. Bye.
Well, yeah, I do agree that there needs to be. I do agree if they have zero tolerance policy, there is going to be accountability. And the defense that they were trying to come up with for her is her mother just passed. But I'm
What?
gonna, yeah, they was like her mother just passed and she did an edible to calm herself down.
Oh shit.
When did they test her? How long did they test her after this? Is the alleged conversation? Because edibles don't stay in your system super long.
Dog.
So I'm curious what the conversation was.
Yeah. Which I was getting to my next point. Okay, if she was a type that didn't do it every other day or every day, it'll clear out of her system in no time.
She was smoking shit, dog.
It's like if you're not okay. If you're somebody that just smoke like a joint once a year, it's gonna get out of your system within a day or so. If you're someone who
that's a fact.
Kev, 30 days, Kev. No, it's not a fact. It takes at least 30 days. Now, depending on how you smoke, it takes at least 30 days.
THC is fat soluble. THC is fat soluble, so it's fat soluble. So if you are running, if you are working out, it can be out of your system within really 24 hours.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, you can look that up. You can look that up. If you're someone who smokes regular, like say if you smoke like 5 days in a row, then it's going to be 30 to 45 days.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Because I used to smoke. You know what I'm saying? When I was in the motherfucking Navy and shit, and I hated it. But when I took a hit or two, it's in my system for 30 days, dog. So I'm just gonna say 30 days. But
Did you test yourself?
Well,
you know. You used to get popped.
Yeah, I got popped.
Okay.
But the whole thing is, she got popped. So that means whether the data you're giving off of me, that means she spoke more. You see what I'm saying? She spoke more than what it was. The whole thing is, it's the A word, accountability.
If they found it in her system, it was more than an edible. I mean, I'm not a science expert. This is just based on but there's also the fact that people's bodies operate differently. But she's a runner with a very high metabolism.
Right.
She's a runner. So that all that shit's supposed to be pushing through her system. That motherfucker was smoking before practice. She was smoking after practice. She was having edibles in there.
Probably that nigga brown, dog. You know what I mean? Like on Friday. I know these fucking weeks. Your lips are turning brown type shit. You know what I mean? Like, dog, you're a runner and shitting out your system within a certain amount of days. Yo, you smoking.
Mm-hmm.
You're smoking.
So they took blood. Raven Knight. Raven Knight said they took blood. There's no way of faking that. Yeah, you can't fake blood.
When I got popped in 99, 2000, I didn't smoke that much, but I smoked. All the niacin and the water and flushing out my system did not work. I'm just saying. I don't give a fuck about what color you are or whatever. If there is a no tolerance policy, then that's what it is. That's what it is. So,
Well,
bitch,
I
go work
know.
at Walmart for 3 months. Go do whatever you gotta do. Take all the fake hair out. Do what you gotta do, and then you'll be back on the scene in 3 months. Michael Phelps got popped for that type of shit. I'm saying, and they had a picture of the nigga smoking weed. So you
Yeah,
know what? Go do what the fuck you gotta do.
yeah,
Straight up.
yeah. And I would never recommend anybody throw away their opportunity or their livelihood based, just to get high. I wouldn't say that at all. And like, but let me put it like this. And I brought this up earlier, and this is kind of an outlier to the situation. How do young black males get treated when they get popped? But I gave an example. Stephen A. Smith on ESPN. I mean, he clown brothers that get popped from marijuana. I mean, he even like got his own little way of saying it. He was smoking the weed, you know.
Um,
And
I
we'll
mean,
talk.
basically,
Say what?
there's no accountability for women, right? But with men, you're all kind of dumbasses. We'll serve you right, stupid. I mean, imagine had this been a 19-year-old, 20-year-old black male, it'd have been a rap. He's an idiot. Maybe he'll learn. Hashtag Nicklet.
Yeah. Hey, Raven Knight, marijuana is actually a racist term placed by. Yeah, I know. It's a racist term. Like basically, it's a swipe at Mexicans. But call it what it is, cannabis. Say it with me, class, cannabis. Yeah, can't it, yeah. The proper
What?
term the proper term for weed is cannabis. Marijuana is actually a racist term. Like it's kind of taking a swipe at Mexican culture.
How's that racist?
Uh, Ethnic. I'll say an ethnic term.
Okay. I'm not really clear on that, so you guys
Let
explain to
me.
me on that one.
Basically, there was a lot of this is back in the day when they made this illegal. There was a whole bunch of shit, and a lot of the reason they made these drugs were aimed at Mexicans and black folks, as was cocaine, a couple other things. A lot of stigma came with it, so that's how the name came about. It was on some racist shit.
Are you talking about when the gin mills instead of newspaper were produced, and then they were saying that
No,
black
not
people,
you talking about with the hemp and all that shit. No, this
yeah.
was this was on the marijuana side of it, the THC. They were making a lot of statements at Mexicans, lazy, XYZ. Um, but it's been years since I actually researched this shit. But basically, yeah, it's marijuana's them taking a swipe at Mexicans.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. If you're gonna be in a place that has rules for um not smoking or non-drinking or zero tolerance type shit, then that means that you have to take responsibility for your own fucking actions.
Well,
And the reason that I say that without any of the racism bullshit is because I was in the Navy and I did that. You see what I'm saying? I got popped for that shit. And I smoked in the motherfucking military. I smoked in the Navy the whole 6 years, dog.
goddamn. How
I'm
many
just
times?
saying.
How many times did you get popped though?
I got popped once, but the whole
What?
time I was in, I got lucky and never got popped. But at the same time, when they popped me for that, I was like, yo, I can't deny it. Like, yeah, I was smoking. You know what I'm saying? The A word is a big word in the black quote unquote community. I'm just saying. If you can't take accountability for your shit, then it doesn't fucking matter. I'm just saying. It doesn't fucking matter. If this is gonna be a black man blue to Rihanna's, dog, it doesn't fucking matter, man. If you know you in a spot where you can't do shit, dog, then you can't do shit. That's all it is, man. All that bullshit. Oh, well, it's a black woman, so all the niggas gonna be, clapping over the shit and all this bullshit, whatever. It's all bullshit, dog.
Well,
It's all
I'm not.
bullshit.
Well, I wasn't defending her. If that's what you think I was doing.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not saying you was.
You was expressing
Yeah,
yourself as
I'm.
a black
I'm
man being
expressing
brutally
myself.
honest. Okay,
Yes,
I got
sir.
you.
Yes, sir. Because I'm that nigga, and a lot of niggas know me around here, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been in your chat for a minute. I'm just saying, even from today, being the 2nd of July, 2021, I've experienced this shit from the '90s, dog. I'm 46. I've already seen the shit, man. I had to take responsibility for my own shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? Getting kicked out of the Navy from either fighting or drugs. I basically got booted out for drugs, but it's more for fighting. You know what I'm saying? If it's a zero tolerance, dog, it's zero fucking tolerance. And that's it. There's no racism. There's no this, there's no that. There's nothing. That's it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for the input, Shaka Nulu. And that's pretty much what I was going to say. Like, we can't make this an emotional argument. If there's a zero tolerance policy against it, you just can't do it, and that's it. Period. Now, back on Bill. But back on Bill, okay. Here's one thing that I would say about his TV family. You know, Felicia Rashad, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Tempest Bledsoe, Keisha Knight Pulliam, even Raven Simone. They never threw him under the bus. Never. They never ever threw him under the bus, despite media pressure.
Lisa Bonet crazy ass did.
But see, that happened because he fired Lisa Bonet because she did that movie with the nude scene with Mickey Rourke and Angel Heart.
Right.
Yeah,
Is that what happened? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So that's why she
I
got kicked
remember
off.
that, man. And that was a big thing. That was a big thing, though, dog.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the whole Bill Cosby thing, and then I forgot the name of the show, but when they went to college,
A Different World.
A Different World. She was the star of that fucking show.
Yeah, she was a star.
She was the star.
And she didn't have a very good work ethic. They said she didn't show up on time, didn't remember her lines. They couldn't A Different World was meant to be a spinoff for her.
Right, it was.
But she didn't meet expectation, and then when she did that appearance in Angel Heart, that was all Cosby needed, and he kicked her off. And it was really good. It actually turned out to be a good decision, because if it wasn't like it gave the shine to the people on the show that deserved it.
Right.
Jasmine Guy, Kadeem Hardison, Daryl Bell, and the guy that played Mr. Gaines.
The Cat with the Dreads who played on CSI or some shit.
Oh yeah, to my Shazal, Gary Dordan.
Yeah.
It gave a lot of shine to it gave a lot of jobs to other people, gave a lot of opportunities, like I said, for people to shine. Once she was out of the way, it became like a real show. Look, Don Lewis, Sinbad was on that show, and it gave the show a personality all its own, which was awesome. Like I remember those Thursday nights growing up, which is not a contributing thing to any biases that I may feel in this case. I'm actually just going off of the evidence of of the case and how strange it was that but typical in history that a black man could get convicted with no evidence No evidence. And I do understand that you feel like that isn't about race, but come on now. You got one black man against like what 50, 60 white women.
Now, do you remember the VH1 joints where Malcolm Jerome Warner was like, "Yo, the Cosby Show ruined my career," right? You ever see that shit?
Because he was Theo everywhere he went.
He still went.
Yeah.
Now, did he mention anything about Bill Cosby giving anybody drugs, doing anything like that?
I would probably say no because Bill was probably one of those guys you don't shit where you eat, and that's a family show. He probably wanted to establish the atmosphere of a family environment, since he was trying to push for the image that he was trying to push for. Now, did he give it? Well, hang on.
Well,
Now
he
that
said that show ruined his life, but he never said Bill did such and such. See what I'm saying?
well, sometimes a role can do that. Can typecast you into into everybody believing that you're that person everywhere you go. Ask what's his name, the guy who well, you can't ask him. Well, what about the guy who recently died, Dustin Diamond, Screech?
Screech, yeah.
Yeah,
Screech.
he was one of those guys that he tried to get other roles, but it was like, nah, that's Screech. If
Dustin Diamond.
yeah, Dustin Diamond.
You remember? Because this is the funniest shit ever. This man went celebrity fit camp. Do you remember that?
Oh man, oh yeah, I remember that. I know exactly what you're talking about, too. Well, boy went off on him. Old dude, the
Oh
drill
yeah,
sergeant.
dude's finna whoop his ass.
Oh man.
Shit. But didn't he? Wait a minute. Did he die?
Yeah, he just died. Dustin Diamond just recently, passed away.
No shit.
Yeah, old Screech is gone.
Damn, I didn't know that.
He had
Yeah,
a hard time.
yeah, he was down bad, and they like his cast members was like, oh my god, we miss Dustin and all that, but them motherfuckers didn't like each other for real.
No, I remember watching the movie. They basically said he was a dickhead. It was like they
They
didn't
did
like
say
him.
that because the whole show that he was on with the high school joints, they was like, yeah, he's an asshole. Okay, oh shit,
Because
okay.
he was cursed. He was cursed to be America's favorite incel.
Yeah,
Pretty
basically.
much, yo, Kev, pretty much. That's it.
But there's a couple people who couldn't escape their image. It was Eddie Winslow couldn't escape that. He was always Eddie Winslow.
Yeah, Lisa, she couldn't escape her shit.
Yeah, she was doing good for a little while. She was in How High. She had guest appeared in Martin. Those appearances were far between, but
Her ass went crazy.
yeah,
Yeah, but
she
it wasn't significant though. It wasn't nothing like that was going to push her over the edge as far as being like a B-rated actor type shit.
yeah, but yeah, she got bipolar disorder or something like that, didn't she? Like she some was wrong with her head or something like that.
Yeah, she
She
went
had a
crazy.
mental break or
Basically.
some shit. Something was off with her mentally. So she went off into the cuckoo's nest. And that it's sad when it happens to celebrities. I remember. You remember LL Cool J had a show in the house, and he had this fine ass girl on. I think her name was Maya Campbell, maybe.
Yeah, oh, she went nuts.
She's a crackhead. It's been a while since I've seen her, but I remember seeing her walking around LA looking crazy.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, I remember I used to see YouTube videos about her. Yeah, I was just
But
like, wow.
a lot of these celebrities had problems. But if you look at the Cosby umbrella, all of his kids actually did well.
Man, have you seen Sandra, the one that played Sandra?
No,
Like, she's aged really well, like really well. Not to say that the other ones aren't beautiful, because you know how we do sometimes. Oh, what about Ella? But Sandra especially, yeah, she's the years have been kind to her.
I ain't seen her, but I know Felicia Rashad looked the same, like she a vampire.
Pretty
Oh
much.
yeah, Felicia Rashad. It's just I don't know, when you think of her and you think what she has done to contributed to the black television mom image, man. You look at her with reverence and respect. Like like this, she's America's shoot. Along with him, Bill Cosby being America's dad, Felicia Rashad was America's mom. I mean, can you think of a TV mom that was better than Felicia Rashad? I mean, like of any race?
No.
No. The answer is no. And we talking about growing pains, Mr. Belvedere, who's the boss, all the motherfuckers. Claire Huxtable is dominant. Claire Huxtable is number one. How dare these motherfuckers at Howard University disrespect her? Sensitive ass kids.
Who's Cosby's wife in the second incarnation of this show?
What's that? What's up?
Well, my phone going to die, man. Fucking StreamYard. I hate StreamYard. But my phone's going to die, man. But I appreciate you for having me up.
All right, Shaka Nulu. Appreciate you coming up, man. Give
Yes,
me your
sir.
yeah. And don't like you can jump up here, man. You're welcome to come back.
Oh, yeah. You know, I be in your chat all the time, man.
Word.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
Much obliged. I'll let you later, Playboy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So he had a second incarnation of the show. Do you remember who the actress who played his wife was in that one?
Who?
Bill Cosby had a second Cosby show, right? I can't remember what it was called, but it had him, Dougie Fresh, and he had a new wife.
Dougie Doug.
Dougie Doug, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. I think that was just called Cosby.
Yep. Yeah, it was Cosby. Who was his wife in there? Has she made a statement?
Let's see, Cosby TV series.
Are you getting the facts? Chaos is in the crowd. He want to jump up on there.
Yeah, I already put the link down. But Felicia Rashad was his wife in that one.
Oh, she was in both. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a different one, but I couldn't remember anybody different. Okay.
Yeah, because let me see. Madeline Kahn, Takia Crystal Kamal, Journey Smollett, Sinbad was in it.
Journey Smollett was in there.
Yeah, Journey Smollett. Daryl Bell was in it. John Lithgow.
John Lithgow. That nigga 30 Rock from the Sun, nigga. All right, well.
30 Rock from the Sun. Speaking of John Lithgow, they said he's supposed to be reprising his role as the Trinity Killer in Dexter's revival show coming up on Showtime.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I don't know, he might be like a Harry type, like just appear to Dexter in like a hallucination, because I'm sure he killed the Trinity Killer. So let's see.
You know, that's one of those shows I never actually got into watching. I'm gonna have to go back and sit and watch that.
Yeah. Oh, Blue Henny, Myra from Family Matters, Michelle Thomas. Yeah, she died. Yeah, she died of cancer. Yeah, it was very tragic.
She was the fine one too. I don't know why he was tripping over old girl. He had Myra chasing him down.
Oh, Myra Monkhouse. Oh my God.
I'd have blew Myra back out. There's been some cheese eating babies walking around this motherfucker.
Hybrid Impact 83. What about Florida Evans? A lot of people have a problem with Florida Evans, but I would say this about Esther Rolle. If it wasn't for her, James Evans would have never been written into the show, because what they did with a lot of and this is what to me puts Felicia Rashad on top. A lot of what they did with the television shows is they would get these kind of masculine archetype black females, whether they were big or they had like raspy voices or whatever, and they would put them in the head of the family position on television shows, and they would never put a father in place. Good Times was supposed to be like that. You know, you had various shows like That's My Mama and What's Happening.
Thea, huh?
Say what?
Thea.
Yeah. Shows like Thea, that would depict these single mothers. this way. Esther Roll argued that a father needed to be written to the show, and they wrote a father archetype, but they wrote him like as unsuccessful as possible. Like they gave,
by definition, that wasn't a man.
by definition, yeah, James Evans will be respected so little by today's standards. Yeah, but that's why they wrote James Evans the way they wrote him, because he wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. Because that's not, they didn't want the message of the black family in the projects. Because of the whole welfare, kicking the father out of the home. The message they wanted to send, that black people weren't good enough to be in a nuclear family. So they wrote shows such as that. Even with the Jeffersons. I mean, they had Lionel, but Lionel was already grown and out of the house, kind of.
Yeah, the Jeffersons was a spinoff of
Archie Bunker.
Family. Yeah, All in the Family. Which that was some questionable shit to begin with, because I went back to go watch some of those shows, and I'm trying to figure out how the fuck that even how that even flew. But it is what it is. The Jews and the blacks.
The whole Good Time story, like how they ended up putting John Amos off the show for being a rabble rouser. When he finally get a job, they finna move and he dies. It was just like they was gonna say fuck the black father anyway. Mm-hmm. And the one thing about the Cosby Show is this: they didn't put a buffoon son in the lead position, because once they started writing Good Times, they pushed Jimmy Walker forward as the star of the show. Once they got rid of John Amos, Jimmy Walker's buffoon character JJ became man of the house. With the Cosby Show, there was no way to do that. They were not going to give Theo a catchphrase. What you were convinced of is that Theo was the son of Cliff Huxtable. That's what you were convinced of. It wasn't none of that other shit. So the Cosby Show was very it was, I would say, the first of its kind. A successful black couple with a balanced nuclear family. With he had one son, 3 daughters. Wait a minute, let me see. 4 daughters, because he had Sandra, Denise, Vanessa, and Rudy. Yeah. So 5 kids. He's a successful doctor. And I think Claire, she was supposed to be an attorney, wasn't she?
She was a lawyer. Yeah, she was a lawyer, or a psychologist, right? Maybe, I think it was a lawyer. She was a lawyer.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? This is inspired another. We're gonna have a black sitcom. I'll probably do it next week. We'll probably have a black sitcom broadcast. But you know what? But you know what though? We could probably do that broadcast on the Black Dimension, since it does center in entertainment.
Well, there was a lot of them. There was Robert Townsend had a good one.
The Parenthood.
The Parenthood. I love Robert Townsend. The Parenthood as a kid. There was, and you didn't like it, but I love My Wife and Kids. Coming up. You say you're not a fan. I tolerated D.L. Hughley's show.
Yeah, the son from that show, that he's covered in ink.
Yeah, he about that life.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. But black families, it was a different thing. But then, CW put out a whole bunch of crazy shit that was just mostly trash.
Yeah.
With like Homeboys in Outer Space and shit like that.
But somebody mentioned, Raven Knight mentioned the Wayans brothers.
Wayans brothers had a great dynamic. And I don't think they had a mother in the show, right? They just had D. So they had pops doing shit.
Well, according to the story, the mother had passed away, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it was just them 3. And that was it was a family dynamic, 3 funny dudes, funny grown dudes, like of course the Wayans, and then John Witherspoon himself. He was just awesome. But
Legendary comedian.
but let's talk about a black family show. The show that that no one like it's kind of like everyone kind of asked for it, but then it became something else. Blackish. Do you think Blackish was a tokenized show?
Anything done by
I
that
never watched
dude.
that shit.
What's the dude's name? Kenyatta Harris. Anything done by that dude, I'm just over it at this point. Blackish was originally funny as fuck, and then they started trying to do a little too much and started trying to be a little too sensitive, and the shit just went over the top, right? My girl watches Grownish. I refuse to watch that shit. I watched maybe 4 episodes. It was horrible. Kenyatta Barris put out that other show on Netflix that was just all the way over the top. But it was the same thing as Blackish, but it was a different version. And then now there's Mixedish. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's just going everywhere with that shit.
And they've expanded to Brownish now, so they're supposed to be a Brown family. And I think
Oh,
they're
get the fuck out of here!
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like I don't know. It's just like I don't know, trying to come out with different flavors of Coke or something like that. Just stop. Just stop. But like Blackish for me, it was funny at first. It was funny at first. It was nice to see a black family show, even though like you said, you did have the Hughleys, you did have My Wife and Kids, you did have the Parenthood. You know, you had them type shows. I mean, you also had Smart Guy, if you count, you know, that show too. Let me see. What was that show with Sister? You had that show as well.
Oh yeah, Sister. Yep.
But that was about two broken families put together, right?
So two families who adopted. They found the same twins, so they ended up mashing the family together, and the rich black man ended up taking in the poor family and giving them money and shit, like just ridiculousness. The concept was crazy, but you look past it for the show.
Yeah, okay. But yeah.
But you know now that I'm thinking about it, the issue with Blackish is they infantilized and effeminized the father in that show a little too much. At certain times, it was funny, like when the mother came to town, the mother disrespected his wife, and he just allowed it. And I think at one point he like either hopped into bed with his mom and did some lightweight homoerotic shit. That's what turned me off on that show. He was an extreme mama's boy.
Oh yeah. But anyway, we got Chaos Ring and we got Doc Oz, who has a strangely familiar avatar, by the way.
Why he has Roger's avatar? The universe.
I got a pretty good idea why, but go ahead, Chaos Ring.
You know, I've just noticed that a lot of black women, in particular, are so mentally ill that they will go out the way to cancel Felicia Rashad just because she stands by this black man for a reason.
Yeah.
It tells me that a lot of black men, and let's be honest, you don't hear a lot of black men in any space or anything of any nature has anything negative to say about Felicia Rashad at all. And it's go beyond her role in the Cosbys. It's just in general. I think some women learn something from this woman.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, Felicia Rashad is forever immortalized. It's like TV's greatest mom. I mean, you know, with anybody with some sense. Hey, but the Cos, what's going on?
How you gentlemen doing?
Oh my God! Really?
hey, but Roger, you know it's funny that you went back and forth with the other people, right? And they going so hard against Mr. Cosby, and I say, well, he didn't say he did it, but damn, you know what I'm saying? Make no sense. Makes no sense.
Bill didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Roger, y'all. This Roger. But yeah, Bill didn't did nothing. Bill ain't did nothing.
How you gentlemen doing? Man, dude, keep your day job, motherfucker.
Y'all ain't ever heard of the cars?
Yeah. I mean, Cosby, kind of not hard to put together, sir.
Jello Papa
Okay,
Day.
but I mean, the cars was the thing for a minute. Y'all must think, okay, it's cool. Y'all missed that. It's that's Family Guy, the cars. Okay, okay, it's cool. Y'all missed it. It's all right. But Bill didn't do anything. That's the main thing. Bill didn't do anything. Bill never said he did anything wrong. Bill never even admitted to an illegal act.
What Bill legitimately did wrong was he was an adulterer. Other than that, he actually didn't actually do anything illegal other than cheat on his wife. That's about it. So if you want to take a beef up with the man for being America's father figure and telling people to hold standards of why he was cheating on his wife, that's one thing. But saying and coming up with these fabricated stories of him being the coldest rapist that ever lived, where he for multiple decades raped 60 women and there's not a near single drop of evidence, y'all gotta let that go.
I don't think Bill did anything that Camille didn't know about. Now she may not know full detail, but Camille is sitting pretty good. She's sitting so good that even when Bill went to prison, she kept on sitting where she was. So I don't think Camille found out anything, because a woman's gonna have a reaction if she finds something out. Didn't seem like she found out anything. Now I can't say for sure. I didn't do no interview with her, but did Camille act like she found something out when all this stuff came out?
Nah, she probably knew he had hoes back in the 70s.
Camille Cosby knew, but she already was comfortable with her decisions. I heard rumor when Bill was going to do time in jail, they said that she was going to file for divorce. And I say, where's the facts in that? I don't hear her come on her word or anything back up that she's divorcing Bill because he's doing time in jail. So I'm not sure where these you see the problem with women, they get out of their feelings. So, what I'm saying? This man is pretty much over 5 to potentially 1%. He's going to get attracted from different ladies. Now, if Bill is going to exercise option, it comes with a term. Is it right? I don't know.
Man, Bill just parked. That's all Bill did.
Let me finish this, Let me lay this out. And we're going to understand this. The more valuable the man, the more potential you're going to have to share. Get over it, bitch. That's
you know what? It ain't that. It ain't about how valuable the man is. Women deal with dudes who got nothing. They got multiple women. He don't need to be valuable to have multiple women in the black community. That's just the reality of it. At the end of the day, Camille obviously knew what time it was. Based on everything we know, don't seem like nothing shocked her. A Bill ain't admitted to doing nothing wrong. Everyone's trying to make somebody out to be something that they're not. There are no victims because there is no conviction. So there are no victims. All you get is a bunch of women who party. And people party with weed, alcohol, Molly, all types of uppers and downers and whatnot. I don't know all the stuff they party with, but people party with stuff right now. So Bill didn't do nothing but what people are doing normally right now.
Fact, you think Future ain't out here handing out Molly Percocet when he fucking these bitches? Molly Percocet.
Oh, you got to pay some ransom later on down the line.
I wish a bitch would come out when Future's 90 years old talking about he gave me drugs, duh, bitch. Mask on, fucking mask on.
Well, what the women kept saying stuff that showed ain't nothing really happened because they kept making statements like, "Well, he gave me something and then I woke up." What him giving you something mean you accepted something?
Right.
It is what it is.
He didn't push it down your throat. He didn't force you. He didn't put it in a magical cup that you thought it was juice.
Yeah, and the thing is, how can you say that you didn't consent to sex if you don't even know what happened? If your memory ain't good enough to tell me about that whole night, then how do I know you didn't consent to sex before you took whatever it is that you did have?
Well, let's say this, right? You made a choice to get high on Quaaludes, Benadryl, and Andrea Constance case, right? And then once you got high on this, you went out and chose to fuck Bill. You gave your
Nah,
consent in every scenario.
but my thing is, how do you know the consent didn't go before she even took what she took? That's my whole thing. They went
Well,
to go party with Bill. Bill happened to have something. That don't mean she didn't consent sexually to anything beforehand. You know,
what,
sex can. I'm just saying, sexual consent can be given before you take drugs or alcohol of any kind.
what people are making the argument of is one, regardless of whether you give it before or whatever the case is, once you get on that narcotic or the alcohol or whatever the case is, you no longer are capable of giving consent, which is just frankly not true. Um, if you get high and you still make that choice, that's what you do. Now, granted, nobody's out here trying to pick bitches off the floor and do no shit like that. But it's people out here who are drunk or on drugs, and you would never fucking know. How would you know?
But Don, what I'm saying is, people give consent before they take anything. It's people that consent to sex before you open a bottle of beer.
Right,
Sex was already consented to.
right. But what people are saying is, once you had that bottle of beer, the consent is no longer applied.
How you can't withdraw consent from a sober person?
I'm just telling you what the people are making an argument on. They're saying that even though that they showed up at his apartment or his hotel room at 2 a.m, half naked, and was planning to fuck him, once they took that pill, they no longer consented to the sex. Is what they're saying.
Okay, so those are idiots. Just that
Correct.
simple. Those are idiots. That makes no logical sense whatsoever. If your consent was already given, that's like saying, because the exact same thing happens in other places. That's like saying you went to the hospital, you gave consent for an operation, but once you took the anesthesia, it's no longer consent.
Correct.
How does that work?
Correct. I said the
Emo
same thing.
logic.
Motherfuckers are hop in the car and start driving. You get a DUI. The law is holding you accountable. Why the fuck you can't have sex and be accountable? Nah, fuck out of here with that. And that's the
Now,
dynamic these people have.
but what I'm saying, there's already a legal precedent. If you're gonna say that after you take anything, you can no longer give consent, that means nobody can perform a surgery, because the person goes under before you do the surgery.
Right. Now let me say this, because I did read this, I think it was yesterday, but the Supreme Court actually had a case like this in front of them, and they ruled that once a person knowingly takes drugs or narcotics, alcohol, etc., and is under the influence, regardless, up until the point of incapacitation, right? You have made a consensual choice to have sex with a person. So that's off the table at this point. So if anybody says, oh, she had a couple of drinks, she wasn't able to consent, that's a lie, because the Supreme Court ruled you can give consent at that point, right? But they say that, and the other excuse is that he bought the drugs in order to get these women into a state to be agreeable, and that they had no intention of having sex with him otherwise, which sounds stupid as fuck too.
If they was somewhere with him and they was alone, their intent was to have sex. It's that simple. A woman ain't got no business around some man. If she ain't at work, she ain't got no business around no man alone unless she intended to have sex. So the fact that she would go somewhere if she would go somewhere with him by themselves already shows that she wanted sex. Period. The only question was would Bill give it to her or not? That's the only question. How does a woman go somewhere alone with a man and they don't want sex to occur?
But see, but this is what you have to understand. We live in the time frame where a woman has plausible deniability. She could have went over there in edible fucking underwear. and still said, well, I didn't want to give it to him. We all knew what the fuck was going to happen. Just like when a bitch come over for Netflix and chill. You know you coming over to my house at 1 at night. You know you fucking. But women will still hold the narrative that sex wasn't going to occur. Therefore, you can't make that assumption.
What does plausible deniability mean?
Plausible deniability, meaning it could have not happened. You don't know that.
It means you can pretend you didn't know. That's what plausible deniability is. The ability to pretend that you didn't know. When you talk about pretending, you're talking about something that ain't true.
Well, I'll take it. But yeah, I mean, this is the dynamic that we have at this point. These women are pretending that they don't know. So, like I said, plausible deniability. They want to pretend.
There is no plausible deniability. Once you went off by, if you go somewhere with a man by yourself, your intention is to have sex with him. The only way you can say that's not the case if you was at work.
Well,
It's
what
that
if these
simple.
women just wanted to meet Bill Cosby and hang out with a legend?
They can do that in public.
But, you wanted to have a quiet audience with Bill and get to know him better.
If you need an audience, it'll be in public. Once you go out by yourself, your intention is to have sex. Why would a woman go somewhere with a man and even when you go on a date, you can go pick a woman up. Y'all can get into the car, but you get into the front seat. If you get into the back seat, you intend to have sex. Now, if you in the front seat, okay, you just going on a date. You go into a date to a restaurant or to a movie, to a ballet, to a play, whatever. You're doing stuff in front of people. Everything is non-sexual because it's in front of people. Once you move off and go somewhere where it's just you and him, clearly you showed that your intention is to have sex. Because why would a woman need to be alone with a man if she ain't trying to have sex with him?
I mean, all of this shit makes sense. It's common sense to me. I mean, you go with this motherfucker. He hands you some shit. He tell you, oh yes, it's Quaaludes, it's party drug to make you feel good, and then you pop that shit in your mouth, nigga. You chose to do that shit. You chose
My
to do
thing
that.
is, Quaalude or not, if you went somewhere to be with him alone, you went to suck his dick. That's what you wanted. You wanted to have sex with the man. Because what other reason would a grown woman go off by herself with a grown man and they not at work?
To go pray.
Nah, if you pray, you go to the closet by yourself. Or you pray in a public setting. A woman has I'm just saying realistically, what reason does a woman have to be alone with a man that she doesn't intend on having sex with? I get it if it's your father, but we ain't talking about a relative.
Well, he's America's dad. Maybe they felt like he was America's dad, so he was their dad too.
You can feel like a Chevy is a Porsche. You can feel that way too.
Maybe they were trying to advance their acting career and get some tips in quiet.
And maybe they was, and I'm not tripping if that's what they was trying to do. I don't care if they was trying to advance their career, but if they're going to advance it sexually, you do that by yourself. If they wanted to advance on the up and up, they do that in public.
I mean, all of this shit makes sense, and Bill Cosby is again he was one of the most influential, powerful people in the world back then. So if you came to this motherfucker and you knew who he was, you can't tell me these women weren't having sex with him. You can't tell me because the way people make it out is they make it out like Bill Cosby was some weirdo incel that nobody wanted to be around, and these women just happened to come around and he snuck the shit in they drink, and then they all of a sudden wanted to fuck Bill Cosby, the nigga who had the #1 TV show on NBC.
Well, but my thing is, my whole thing is, we got to set a precedent. If you're going off with men by yourself as a woman, then why would you expect me to believe, for any reason, unless this is your relative, that your intention is not to have sex with this guy? Where do women do that at? In what setting do women go off with men
by themselves that they do not intend on having sex with? What other scenario is there?
The church. Well, wait a minute. You can't use church because people do stuff there too.
Again, plausible deniability with this. Women want that plausible deniability to pretend that nothing's supposed to
Again,
happen.
something that don't exist. Plausible deniability is about people pretending. Once you go into pretend, you're talking about imaginary stuff. You either did something or you didn't do something. If you went off with the man by himself, what woman do you know goes off with a man by herself that she doesn't want to have sex with? Do you know any of these women? Have you met any of these women? Now, everybody on the panel is adults 30 and above. In 30 years of being alive, have you met a woman that wanted to go off by herself with a man that she did not want to have sex with?
Yep, a bitch trying to okie doke a nigga. But aside from that, no, nobody.
Oh, okay. So somebody with an evil intention is the only other reason. Okay.
That's the only thing I can think of. Bitch trying to hit you with the okie doke or try to lead you on so that she can get something out of you, thinking you're gonna get some pussy. Because she know you want the pussy, so she'll lead you on thinking you're gonna get it and then try to play you for your pockets. But otherwise, nah, it's all sexual related to begin with.
Well, then, in a scenario like that, then the man would have just as much plausible deniability as she has.
Yeah, which makes me pose my question again. If a man and a woman is drunk and high, and both of them decided to have sex consensually, is he assaulting her? Can she come? Good.
No. My question is, if either one of them got drunk or high at that point, how do we know when the consent was given? How do I know the consent wasn't given before somebody was drunk or high?
At this point, it doesn't even matter. If they was both drunk and high, they still can give consent. So fuck does it matter?
I'm saying it people, because that's what matters to people. When did they get drunk or high? How can you recount the story and nobody was there, and then you say I got high out of my mind, well, I couldn't even remember what happened, but I'm supposed to rely on your memory to tell me that you did not give consent before y'all even started drinking or taking whatever you took? I'm supposed to rely on the memory of the person that blacked out to tell me what happened that night. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what happened with Nate Parker. Remember that chick woke up the next day and tried to get him to tell her what happened. And he was like, bitch, I don't know what you want. And that, she didn't recall what happened, but she did try to say that she sexually assaulted him. And I think the homeboy got. But yeah, I mean, at that point, if you don't know what the fuck happened, what's the point?
And see, this is the other thing too. If a person blacks out, how do I know you didn't have sex before you blacked out? Your memory is not up to snuff to tell me anything. So unless you can actually show the video, then you don't. All you have is one person's story over another person's story, and according to the law, both of y'all stories are equal. That's what it comes out to at the end of the day. Both people have their stories have the same weight.
But
now you can go by reputations. Now, if I start going by Bill's reputations versus these women's reputation, Bill gonna win. Think about that. What has Bill Cosby been about? Bill Cosby has been about bettering black people, bettering the community. He's been about education. He's been about helping the youth. Bill's history going up against any of them women that accuse him of history, Bill win, undoubtedly.
And you know what? That's a valid point because that's something that never gets talked about. If you really look at the record of these women, a lot of these women are shady to begin with. You got Janice Dickinson's crazy ass. who, by the way, admitted she was bullshitting. The woman who tried to blackmail Bill, uh, her daughter, or no, her mother is one of Bill Cosby's accusers, which is fucking insane to me. And then a bunch of these bitches' stories just fell apart.
So should I believe the guy? The guy who, matter of fact, I had a guy come to my show the other day, and this how solid Bill Cosby is. He affected his life in multiple ways. Now he was born in Ghana, so according to him, he went to see Bill Cosby speak in person. So he seen him speak as a child in person, had great impact on him that way. His father also, when they came to this country, his father got hooked up in something where Bill Cosby ended up employing the man. So now Bill Cosby also employed his father. And when he was in Ghana as a small child, Bill Cosby helped put the school up that he went to. And I'm supposed to take the reputation of them hoes, because some of those were clearly hoes.
Well,
But we could just say women.
I
I'm supposed to take the reputation of these women against a man who done donated money to colleges, who done pushed education, who done got honorary degrees from other schools just because of all the work he's done in the community. A man who's been pushing to show the black family in a good light for years and years and years. The man that made Fat Albert. I'm supposed to take their reputations over his? Nah, that don't even make sense.
Okay, shoot, we got 40 people in the house, and let me see how many likes I got. All right, we got 57 likes, and reminding you that this is BMBBH, and want you to look at the following message which is available also. We'll be back after this. All right, fellas. The subject, the title is "Guilty Until Proven Guilty." That really not only applies to Bill Cosby, but it applies to any black man that's a public figure that's ever gotten accused of something, especially when white women were involved. If we are accused of anything by anyone, especially something that is of a sexually graphic nature, in some way, shape, or form, we're just going to be guilty, and that's all there is to it. I don't care how much evidence you throw in front of people. If they want us to be guilty, we're going to be guilty.
So my earliest memories, right? Well, I wouldn't say earliest memories, but my early memories of childhood included reading a book, To Kill a Mockingbird. Y'all remember that book?
Yes.
And in that book, it was a story of a white girl who falsely accused a black man of raping her. And I remember thinking at the time, this is crazy. And then kind of opening up my eyes to the world to where all of these instances of black women or black men being treated by this domestic society as sexual predators, niggas who basically couldn't keep their dick in their pants and they were just beast over just sex in general. And this is how society looks at us, right? They've always looked at us like this. Going back to Emmett Till, where he whistled at a white woman and all of a sudden is rape and all this extra shit comes on. They've been making this story about black men being sexual predators since we've been in America.
Since the 1600s. They've been doing that since the 1600s.
Since Othello, there you go. So if you look back at this shit has been running forever. And black people, particularly black women, have bought into this. This is what the narrative is. And it's fucking sad to see this from my sisters, but they don't give a fuck. As long as a white person says it, they will co-sign it because they want us to be beasts too.
Well, I'm just gonna look at it as who am I supposed to believe? Am I supposed to believe a bunch of hoes that seem like they're trying to make a financial come up, or the man that was giving away millions to help black people? If I got to choose between those kind of choices, it's an obvious choice for me. I'm gonna go with the brother that put his money on the line to help the black community.
Well, Roger, that doesn't matter at the end of the day. Doesn't matter if you pay for an entire graduating college classes debts. Doesn't matter if you donated to HBCUs and open up schools in certain parts of the world. Uh, it doesn't matter if you help old ladies across the street, help children in community centers, or better yet, it doesn't matter if you're just simply a good father. If they accuse you of something, then you must obviously be guilty because someone said it. And that's sad, sad fucking facts. Mm.
It's crazy that nobody's done an actual had an actual. Well, you know what? I take that back. Professor Black Truth did it a while ago, and I can't find that video. I can't even think of the name of it. Professor Black Truth a while ago went through the list of every woman who accused Bill Cosby and broke down their character. And suffice to say, they weren't good people.
God damn, Professor Black Truth actually went through the accusers. Oh my God,
That nigga went through the accusers and he was thorough as fuck. It was apparently one of them had done it a couple times, multiple times, where she was falsely accusing people. That nigga went through the accuser list and was with the shits. I'm talking really went through it. He exposed one of the chicks, give him the wrong dates. And then they came back to her and asked. I think he had video footage of Beverly Johnson on The View or whatever these daytime talk shows, giving a statement, and then she went to another show and gave a completely different statement. And this was the same with a couple of women. So he was just playing them back to back and knocking down their arguments left and right.
A comprehensive breakdown of the bullshit. Yeah, but shoot, if you ever find that video, man, I'll community tab.
I've been looking for it, and I really think this is they knocked this channel, or at least they knocked that video.
Yeah, when you get too potent with the truth, they start to do shit to you, like these supposed shadow bans, which might actually be true.
Remember, this nigga Roger mentioned Gail, and they popped his ass.
Yeah, that man said we will not support your network, and then shit. After that, he had to create another channel. But anyway, look, fellas, this has been about 3 hours. I'm about to bring this one to an end. So final thoughts, anyone?
Nah, go. I'm out. You ain't shit for watching. I'm gonna release a video today. About Cosby, and the subject is it about Cosby or is this about black men? So yeah, holla at y'all.
All right, Donnie. Thank you, and long live the habitual line stepper, brother.
One thing I got. Go ahead. Now, I'm probably going to look into Miss Felicia Rashad. Come to find some things on the internet that is somewhat disturbing. Maybe I should cover that person in my channel. So look out for that. But besides that, the man's out now. So like I said, and I'll say this: I did talk to some other brothers, and it's near to me. Good old Bill is the pursuant by that CBC network stuff. He didn't stop pursuing it. Surprising, from what I'm getting. So a lot of things has played in the necessity of incarcerating this man. To be fair and honest. So the way how they went and did it strategically was very much questionable and called for. But you know, as a black man in America, ain't nothing you can do that you won't get prosecuted if you're not careful as a man. So I would say to most black men, tread softly in this environment. This environment is not friendly to you. And anytime you slip or make a little itch, that's your ass. Long live the Bishop Line Slippers.
All right, Chaos Ring, long live. Yeah, I got a super chat by Marcus B28. Says, Roger, the argument was so good, I had to put something on it. All right, so I definitely do appreciate the super chat. And go ahead, Roger.
Bill Cosby is one of the greatest black men in recent history. It's that simple. And folks don't like it, and they tried to put a stain on his record before he died. Now, people can say and speculate as much as they want to, but guess what, y'all? His record's still clean. It's that simple. Like it or not, his record clean. All Bill Cosby truly is a great actor, a great comedian, a great producer, a great movie star, and a great inspiration, and a great philanthropist. Anything else you're trying to put on him is just you making up stuff. That simple. Like it or not, he won. That simple. And I ain't just talking about the court case, I'm talking about in life. The man been winning since winning been winning. I'm not old enough to see when Bill Cosby started, but Bill Cosby been winning my whole life. I know that's gotta hurt some people. I know it do. And guess what? He gonna keep on winning too. So I'm gonna leave it there. I think enough has been said. Talk to y'all later. Peace.
All right, peace to my habitual line stepper brother Roger. Shout out. Let me get some shout outs in the chat. Antoine Johnson, Gerald Jelks, what's going on? Joe Strummer, perfect timing broadcast. I saw grown man business in here a second ago. But shout out to all of you. Yeah, man. I mean, this is perplexing to say the least because it reveals something very disturbing about Black culture. Is that a lot of the people who felt negatively toward us that are within our culture, within our group of people, within our race, they're right. Maybe some of these guys that we think are CONs, maybe they're the ones that are really trying to help us, and the ones that we think are on our side are the actual CONs. After everything that Bill Cosby has done, how can you be against Bill Cosby? And it always boiled down to we're triggered by what the guy says. Hell, shit, the Black Manosphere's existence proves this very notion that I just put before you. That every time a black man tells you the truth, that that y'all stay mad with that black man forever. So imagine them telling several truths. You want to see the man taken out. And the way they tried to take this man out with no evidence, for you to even jump on and co-sign with something like that, I have to wonder about your level of common sense. The law is the law. That's what happened. Technicality or no technicality. If you look at everything about this case, then you would probably conclude that he should have never got locked up in the first place. That's my position, and I'm sticking with it. Now, for the reason why y'all mad, y'all don't really care about Andrea Constant. Y'all barely care about any of the victims. You're triggered because a black man told y'all the truth about ourselves. We should revisit the parenting that that's in our community. We should visit how our kids are turning out. Why wouldn't you want it any other way? Probably because you don't care.
No, it's more than it's okay. They just want to live in a world where there's no consequence. I do what the fuck I want to do. And you can't
Okay.
tell me God can only judge me. That bullshit. People talk about God can only judge me. It's like, well, God's judging you right now, and you're feeling the wrath of your decision, bitch.
Okay. Okay. All right. But final statement. Chaos. Thanks for your input, but final statement. But anyway, Bill Cosby is out. Deal with it. And if what they're saying is true, he's going to pursue what legal options he has. So I hope he sues the shit out of some people. Now, as far as the Me Too movement, was it a blow to the Me Too movement? I don't think it was a blow to the Me Too movement. I think it was just putting the Me Too movement in check. You can't just go around saying things about people just because just because you want them to be true. I mean, I understand, and like I said earlier, I understand that there are actual victims of egregious, violent sex crimes. But as far as the case of Bill Cosby, that just wasn't the case at all. If he was as big a monster as everyone's saying that he was, if he's that, then why wasn't he taken down much earlier than this? Why didn't anybody come forward if he was just going around just all wording everyone? Why didn't they do it? I mean, it would have been easy. He's black. So it's a lot of things that's funky. So my suggestion to people who have an opinion about this, really try not to get too emotional about it and really, really think about it. Really, really think about it. I had another. Okay. So, yeah, the Roger Report Live. Long live Dr. Bill Cosby. Oh, yeah, he is a doctor. I think he might have actually got that level of education up to doctor.
No, he got an honorary doctorate.
Oh, he got an honorary doctorate. Okay, he's honorary. So he's an honorary doctor. But thanks for the super chat anyway. And I forgot the last point I was gonna make, but anyway, everybody, thank you for your support. Thanks for tuning in. This is Kev. This is Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Long live the habitual line statement. Oh shit. No. I need my ass whooped for that one. Long live the habitual line steppers. See you next time at the cool table, Saturday and Sunday night. Peace out. In Kent we trust. Goodbye.